Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Play PUBG Mobile for free.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Play PUBG Mobile for free.
Welcome everyone to the final week of the PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019. We're at the semi-final stage and this is where it really matters. We've got 3 days ahead of us now where we will decide the final 6 teams coming from Europe and they will have the chance to battle out at their regional finals. From 24 to 16, we recently went from 32 to 24 and now it's the true crunch time. And there's some teams that did look very good throughout the group stages that have struggled later on. And as always, you've got myself, James Banks, joined by Matthias Larson to take you through all of the games today. Now, Larson, we've got some teams who have impressed us beyond what they ever did in the group stages here. We've got other teams that have certainly fallen apart. What are you expecting, really? Because for me, I'm thinking any of these teams that didn't perform, remember, it's 2 weeks, so it's an even amount of days. They can step it up. They can make it happen. But I really want to see them deliver to another level. And we've got the schedule here for you guys at home. So we're starting with Group A and B on day 1. Day 2 will be Group A and C. And day 3 will be B and C. So everyone gets a fair amount of games in there. 4 matches across the board. We've got Miramar coming back today, and we love to see it. But coming back to what I was saying there, mate, what do you want to see these teams being working on?
So the biggest team I want to point out is White Bulls. They were pretty much on top of the group stages, and now they're rock bottom. I think they got 43 or something points, very, very low for the first 8 games, so they need to step it up. Another team that did really good was Welcome to the Lobby.
Yeah.
So they played the first 4 games Friday, where they did amazing. They were on top of everything. But then when they came back Sunday, I believe it was, they literally did nothing in the remaining 4 games. So they're set now in the middle, where they were supposed to be at the top.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if they can have an average day today and tomorrow, or if they actually, you know, just have a losing spree now.
And that's not what you want to have if it is coming down to this. And we look at these overall standings to give you a bit of a view of what we were talking about. Now, DM99, not only have they impressed us, right, they actually have one of the highest players, Matic, who's got 28 kills. You know, the next closest player is on Avangar, has 18. He's 10 kills ahead of anyone else. This man is a machine, and their aggression was so unique.
Yep, and I personally love the way they fight, right? They play as a unit, they always go together. They go kind of early into the zone, and then they just hold their spot. They don't over-rotate, which you see some teams doing, but they also know, okay, when it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So they have really good fraggers, but whoever is the in-game leading, whoever does the tactical stuff for them, always know what they're doing, and he's managed to get these guys on the same page, and that just shows off, right, how good they've done.
Now, another team on here, FromHell. They impressed us because we're in the group stages. We were almost thinking they weren't going to make it at one point. Now they're here doing a lot of damage. Then we get into our rest of the teams who are just on the edge here. And because of how this point system works, it's sadly for some of them, they're not far away from being knocked out of this top 16 spot.
Oh, no. I mean, as soon as we go to the next page, we'll see it's less than like 5 points separating 16 to 17 probably. And then everything below that is kind of fair game. But like I said, I think White Bulls has either 40 points or 60 points over 8 games. They're so far behind right now.
Yeah, White Bulls have 46 points at the moment. As you guys won't see it, we're only giving you the top 16 for now. The teams outside of it, just to let you know, is, when we come down to OMGG, Kuma to Mio. Kuma is a team we followed. We kind of criticized them quite harshly.
Yeah.
Then they improved. Then they've had a bit of a downhill spiral, but they have started to get there. It's really dependent, I guess, on how they're feeling. And they, I guess, rely a little bit more on the rotations themselves and kind of how they're getting the circle. B13, the Golden Boyz, another team we were very confident in. And Bemyloot, 19th and 20th. Bemyloot, BuzzKillBros, Romania, White Pulse, CZ, all within the bottom 5 teams there. That's insane because when we watch them in the group stages, and I think this is what it comes down to, and I don't know if you'll agree, Larson, it's that they have fragged out well against some of the teams that have now been eliminated. And now we've got such more competitive and higher stacked lobbies.
Yep.
They are just unable to really do the same kind of actions they had before.
So B13 and Bemyloot, they're down now at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
But the way they played in the group stages, they would just crash stuff and would win the fights, right? They didn't do anything special. They would just get in their cars, crash the center, and win the fights in the compounds. But they're not doing that anymore. I don't know if it's because the competition is tougher and they won't win out of those fights, so they're more scared. But what brought them actual success? I don't see them doing it, or either just dying so early that we don't notice it.
It's a lot of that fighting early we hate to see that happens as well. Maybe not just for these teams, but there's other teams in there as well. I'd like to say, Larson, we're pretty in pink today as well. We've all blended in well with this. You've got your classic PUBG shirt on. You're ready to rock it. And I'm just gone for a light pink. I didn't want to be too much for contrast. We've managed to match for a day. There you go. You guys might be happy with that at home. But I know what a lot of people at home will be happy with is that PUBG Mobile is back on your screens. And we've got 3 days of all this action coming your way. And to kick things off, we've obviously got Vikendi as always. We get to go to the snowy hills and see how it goes down. And it still is that outlier map where I can never just say, oh yeah, this team's got it, like, or I expect to see this team in the top 4. Because it's probably the most inconsistent map for a lot of these teams who I think maybe haven't played as much as others.
I don't even know if playtime is going to fix it because it is extremely harsh to play. And it's also like, I want to say the winning factors, you can keep 4 people alive, keep vehicles so you can use them for the late game. Yeah. But it's not easy to do unless you get a little bit of circle luck. So I'm going to say maybe like top 5, top 7, you can kind of guarantee with good plays. But to make it all the way to the end, you need some luck to an extent.
Do you remember that M19 game? They had insane circle luck. They were on the hill, and they should have had to jump down. And most of them, when they jumped down, are going to take extra damage. They were fighting with a team, and they played it so smart where they sent one player down on the ground. He took a bit of damage, managed to be there, but he caused them not to be able to do the revives. And then the rest of them just shot on down, and they took a big win. And M19 actually is a team that they've not been like super convincing in every single game, but the games they do win is in such a confident manner, and it was just the way they came out at the end there and brought that A game to a level that we hadn't seen from them before.
This is not Vikendi.
This is not Vikendi.
But one thing I wanted to point out is, so M19 right now they find themselves in 2nd place, but they only have around 30 kills, I believe, whereas our first place is DM99, they have closer to 70 kills. They were at 60 something, right? So M19, they're managing to always get really, really good placements, staying alive, closing out some games, but they haven't been as kill heavy as some of our other top contending teams.
I'm not going crazy, by the way. It is on the schedule, on the website, and everything else we've seen, supposed to be Vikendi, Miramar, Erangel. I'm guessing maybe we swapped it around for a little bit for some reason, but I'm not going to complain about it for now. I'm never going to complain about getting a bit of Erangel here early on, Mr. Larson.
Yeah, we can do 4 Erangels. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
You would definitely love that. I'm not sure some of the teams would love that. Maybe some do, obviously do prefer it in many senses of it, but straight away, we're getting everyone out the plane, but also we're getting a pretty fair circle to kick things off with, and that's something you do love to see. Oh, yeah.
One thing I've noticed is Unique, they landed in just Naya, and they have TQ here as well. Unique don't typically land here, so they're just kind of changing up the airdrop, whatever, depending on where the plane is going. So it'll be interesting to see. TQ here, they're chilling at the southern side, they're all together, whereas Unique is a little bit split more, but they have the entirety of the northern side for now. And something new. Look at Jasnaya. We usually always see 2, 3 teams there, but somehow White Post has managed to get Jasnaya for themselves. Back to the standards. DM99, they're looting Rosq. I expect to see some chaos towards the Pachink area, because we usually always have multiple teams there. We see Kuma, they're in Multa. The only other teams that contest them is the Golden Boyz, but they're not here. Avangar, also basic, doing Multa Power. And everything is nice and slow. Besides Severny and maybe around Pachinki, I assume. There's always more teams there. As we can see, Magic and Storm. That's in Pachinki. Magic getting the opening nut onto Storm.
Well, they'll certainly be happy with that. And Storm is a team that we have looked at multiple times and said, all right, these guys, they can step it up when needed. But it's just so tight at the moment. It is so clustered together, and how the ability of these teams is starting to really show through.
Inconsistency.
Yes.
And that's probably the word we use the most. Well, consistency. If you want to stay in the top, you need to perform every single game. You need to be able to show that you are fracking out, you're getting top 5 pretty much every single game. Then you say, oh, that's a great team. They're really, really good. Instead of supposed to see Storm like maybe every 2 or 3 games to have a moment. That's like, it's not good enough when we're playing this many games. If you're playing a best out of 5, all right. If you have 2 explosive games, then maybe you can do something with it. But here you just need to have as many good games as possible.
Oh, Nagy runs across. TQ able to get him knocked down straight away, and he's just in the open at the moment. Now his teams will try and give him some cover, but this is an easy one for TQ to flush out and finish off here. An early battle going on that, again, won't benefit anyone other than them fighting for a bit of space within this circle. Now Carrick finds himself, and that's really nice from Old Boy. That was almost almost pixel perfect. Such a small angle to take that shot from. So he's going to be real happy with that. That finds TQ under pressure with 2 players knocked down now. Unique, Yasha, he's bringing up Nagy. This is going to be a good start for them. He can try and med himself up if he's managed to pick him up. And they should be able to fight this off pretty easy now, because TQ, they are certainly outnumbered.
Yeah, and for some reason TQ split up. The other 2 team members went to the northern side of Severnia, and they didn't even decide to help out here. So Unique, they're getting a very easy and clean up. And you can just see how well they executed it. They helped each other. When as soon as Nike got knocked, the trade was there. And they all backed each other up. Whereas TQ, they were just like Lunatic and RP said here. They just ran away.
TQ, I'm loving that. You even did damage to the players getting out of there. So now they'll flush out the final 2. That's 2 kills straight away. And we talk about placement points within PUBG Mobile, right? Because of how it's all worked out, and it's 30 points for getting that win on there. It is very heavy on the placement points. But getting early kills like this and not losing anyone, yes, you've had 1 player knocked, but hey, that's a big win.
They want to finish
Oh my God, yes! I'm fully down for this. Go, 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 Unique. Chase them down, make them pay, and make them pray for their lives as well.
One thing I've noticed is happening on mobile. So I can say I come from the PC world. James used to also commentate a lot on PC.
Yeah.
But people on mobile, they're not flushing their knocks instantly. In the PC universe, you see a knock, you instantly kill that guy. But on mobile, I've actually seen people just leave them alive for a long, long time. And Unique manages to clean on TQ, and they go out here in 16th place already. Easy points for Unique at the stage. Avangar, they're driving through Milta here, seeing that Kuma's there, taking some shots back and forth. Gonzo is making noise, trying to distract them. But what is Bullet doing here? He's just standing in the open. I'm a little bit confused about that. But now Gonzo is alone. Wait, did Kuma disconnect? None of them are moving.
Oh no.
They might be at the same place altogether, right? But none of them are moving. It might have been like a 4-man disconnect here. And for some reason, Gonzo doesn't see that Bullet is off to the side. And, oh, it's getting restarted. That's what it is. So Bullet just killed himself with a vehicle. Everybody here looks to be disconnected, and now people are killing themselves.
Okay.
So, I believe we're starting with Vikendi. And it makes sense.
I reckon there might have been an error on the admin side of things. That thing can happen. It does go down sometimes like that. It's not a problem. I was like, wait a second. What's going on? We've hit a crazy point. It's going to come back to us for a little bit. We're going to get the game restarted and get things sorted out, get things back into the equation. Well, I was impressed by TQ. It's a little highlight for them, at least, to start things off with, in sense of they did do it well. They played strong. And then just the confidence to jump in the car and be like, yeah, let's go. I want 2 more frags.
I wish you need to kill TQ.
That was the way. Yeah, that was the way. The other way around.
So TQ, they got saved by the bell. They're probably happy.
Not the start they would have wanted at all there.
And Unique, they got to show off what they're made of, right? Showing no fear, just taking some of the weaker teams apart.
Yeah. I guess we're just going to talk until we get the sign to go to a break. I'll wait and see what happens. It's a bit of a weird one. We've not been in this situation
yet. We went through the schedule. You mentioned it. We're supposed to do Vikendi, Miramar, Erangel.
And I was looking forward to Miramar especially. We don't see it as much.
Yeah.
It's a team game in that, which is very difficult. We speak on it many times when it comes to Miramar, but I like the diversity in that sense.
Oh, yeah. I actually love how all the maps are different, and like you have to take a different game approach when you go into every single map. You can't play any maps the same. So it's really, really interesting to see how these teams actually need to adapt so many different strategies.
That was a good warm-up game for people, though, right? Drop down.
I mean, only for Unique.
Get your thumbs ready, in a sense. You've moved around. You've looted some stuff. You said, hey, okay, we got ourselves into it in some way. And then, cool, we just chill out. We're waiting to go. I don't have anything else to say at this point. I'm going to literally go back to our standings, because we've got nothing going on for the moment. So in terms of what we're looking at here, Larson, right? We've got DM19 in top place, 184 points. It's pretty much impossible for them to fall off now. Even without getting out any other points, you're not going to be eliminated outside that top 16. Then you've got teams right on the edge of it.
In 16th place right now, they have 90 points.
95, yeah.
So they're only like 90-something points ahead right now.
But you'd have to have all those teams jump up, which is physically impossible to leapfrog them that much, right, from the first place. But the ones that are really going to struggle out here in a big way are your teams like Romania, White Pulse, CZ. I guess from Bemyloot and the B13, they can do it because they're just getting towards the 70-point threshold. But the guys are 58, 54, 46, 37. At least I see something completely different from them in like back-to-back wins and a lot of kills.
Thinking about their 40 points now, and they need to have 2 wins to even get into the top 16
Yeah.
and then accumulate more points. It's going to be a long road for them anyway, right?
It's going to be massively hard. It's not going to be something that's going to be easy.
If you win 4 out of the next 8 games, you're good to go. And have decent performances in the other 4 games.
Now, we've seen it before. We haven't seen it on PUBG Mobile as of yet, but we've seen many teams be able to have this chance where they say, we can get a couple of back-to-back wins in there, but I've seen it in other, obviously playing on the PC version.
Yeah.
Teams will get 2 wins in a row, 3 wins in a row at times. You ever been part of a 4-win game?
4 games in a row wins? No, I don't think so.
You've been on the receiving end of one instead?
But no, I don't think it's very uncommon.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do.
So on PC, I think Liquid had 4 or 5 games in a row in like one of the early Starlighter tournaments.
Okay.
And they share it with somebody else, which might have been FaZe Clan at one point, but I'm not sure. These might have been the 2 teams that have done it in the Western regions.
That is so impressive for that to go down. So that's what I think some of these teams will be realistically looking at. We need to get the back-to-back-to-back wins.
Yeah.
Or like you said, sitting in them consistent placings. But the teams that have consistently been within the top 8, like your Avangars, for example, like your M19. Remember M19's final day there? We were just like, wait a second. What happened to the M19
First, second,
we used
second,
to?
or something ridiculous.
It was like, huh? How did this even, like...
Yeah.
Because it was a position where M19 weren't looking like they'd be out of it. They were still within the top 16 at the time. But you were not putting them within the top 5. And they just went, today, it's our day. And they conquered beyond belief.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about M19 in particular is they don't get kills.
Yeah.
They're like way lower than anybody else in the top 5 right now, if I remember correctly.
We can check
I know
that out.
they're
Let me have
around
a look.
30, and like DM, they're 60 plus, and then I'm not entirely sure about everyone else, but they're way below all the other players here.
Yeah, okay, you are spot on because 142 placement points. And remember, they've had a couple of solo snaky players in there. 34 kill points. Everyone around them is like 50, 69, 42, 43, 43. So yes, M19 lacking on the kills. Imagine if they could start getting kills as well. That's scary.
Yeah.
That is really scary.
Only 34 of them and in second place, but that's just the way of snaking, right?
Yeah.
If you can salvage games, if you sometimes sacrifice some teammates to get a spot where you can win the game from, it's worth it.
Certainly
Especially when we look at our point system where you get 1 point for a kill and 30 points for a win. It's so huge to get those placement points. If you can get into the top 3, it's usually better than going for kills unless you can get like 15 kills in a game.
And we've seen it as well where they get to these snaky points where there's 3 teams left alive and you see one team's got 4 players, one team maybe has 3, and you've just got the solo player. He just waits for them to fight, then pops up every now and again and says, hey guys, like I'm still here, I'm just going to cause you a bit of a problem in the side.
Yeah, when you're 4 players, you can't hide. There's no way.
No, it's
In
not
those
going to
smaller
happen.
circles, you don't have enough cover, but for one guy, you can usually be quiet enough and just hope that the other guys will engage each other first.
Yeah, he's just rocking it quite comfortably on his own on the solo player, saying, yep, let's do this, let's make it work. But that's one thing that might change, right? M19 might say, okay, look, this play style's worked for us. Can we now be a little bit less aggressive maybe at the beginning where we're getting picked apart and try and go in for the kills at the late game? Can we change it up on how we win this out?
But that's the thing, right? If you're doing this well, do you really want to change it up?
It's always room for improvement.
But if you haven't, like, that's the thing I want to put into space. Is like you want to practice it for a long time and then maybe execute it. But if you try to pull out a strategy that you necessarily haven't practiced that much, it's just going to end up backfiring, right? You might pick up some bad habits.
Yeah.
I remember in PUBG, especially the early days, you would like get into car chases, you would try to stop in the middle of the open, shoot after the cars, and then you drive straight into another team and die.
Yeah.
It's like if you get a little bit too greedy or you trying to overdo it sometimes, overcomplicate it, it can actually backfire.
And that's one of the things, right, when we're talking about the practice schedule, is these teams have all had a week now to sit here and get themselves into a position where they can say, all right, what did we do wrong? And that's what we commonly do this, and Larson is so good at this, being an ex-pro, understanding the game to a whole nother level of what some of these players have. If your experience comes from all the way back since PUBG started, some of the feedback that Larson's given these players is vital to what they should be doing going forward, right? And how they should approach the game, how they should look at taking different duels. How many teams fight early for literally no reason? Like, you get 4 kills, but then you've got no placement points.
I'll tell you what triggers me the most. So we've seen a lot of snakes, right?
Yeah.
And on mobile, when I see a lot of people snaking, they tend to just do it in the middle of the open, not behind any cover, where there's trees nearby, there's rock nearby. So when you're snaking and you don't have any cover, you're laying here, one guy turns up, you'll kill the first guy, but his teammates behind him will always kill you.
Yeah.
But if you have cover, you can just peek out, get a kill, then you can buy enough time for your teammates to make a play, and then you wipe out the enemy squad a lot cleaner than potentially just trading 1-for-1. So I would say always play from cover. And at least I know in PC, if you right peek, always look from the right side of your angle. You expose less of your body. And something you can always have in the back of your head is like, go for those right peeks, because then you have a bigger chance of winning the fights.
And that's what we just saw Unique do as well on that little fight they had with TQ, right? Old boy, using the cover perfectly. He had the break in the wall. He just pinpointed it as the guy ran into the house.
Yep.
Boom, 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 landed a few key shots, manages to get the job done, and he avoided any damage coming back towards him.
Yeah, cover is fantastic. You want to use it as best as you can in your surroundings.
Especially in third person as well, right? Third person gives you so many more options like that because you can have that real good look around while you're in that spot. And that's what I didn't understand from that TQ player. I think it was Nagy, right? He just ran straight out into the road. And it's like, yes, okay, you want to get across.
It was Unique Nagy that crossed the road there.
Was it Unique Nagy? Okay, so there we go. I'm getting the player name wrongs. But Unique Nagy obviously ran across the road, got picked off, and it was like, there was no need for you to run across.
Exactly.
Like, there was no need for that challenge.
That was very, very greedy.
And it was so lucky that TQ didn't want to flush him. You mentioned it, they weren't flushing him, and it's like, why? Wasted kill points.
But yeah, it's actually crazy because on PC, people flush instantly. They do everything for the kills. But on mobile, I've seen so many times where players just leave them knocked. I don't know if it's some code of honor to some extent, or people are a lot nicer. Like, if we get to flush players, we're like, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean,
to hell with that guy, we don't like him.
If someone's found themselves on their own, right, and they've been picked off early, and their team are not literally pushing me at that moment, I'm straight in for the kill. I'm not waiting. Why would I wait around? I want that extra point on the board. Especially, that's probably what Matic's doing, which is why he's got 28 kills and everyone else has 18. Because he sat there just running amok at the moment. And that was what was so crazy. When we look at DM99, this team, they came, yes, they're in first place. But, I mean, there was just moments where we watched them, rolled up on one team. Straight away. Like, it was literally like, it was like a plow just going da-da-da-da, and just all these teams just funneled towards them, dead. And anything that came at them, it was like bowling pins just being knocked down to the ground every single time.
But one thing I want to give to DM99, they don't just push to push. They choose the right timing to do it. So often they will not just like straight up run at you. They'll wait until you're in a firefight, or they're distracted with something else and they're like, yeah, we can probably run up and get a few free kills here. Whereas a lot of teams are not playing proactive. They're just sitting back waiting for the blue to push them. But DM, they will actually, you know, say, hey, these guys are fighting. If we can see there's a few knocks, we'll just go and clean up. Take that space for yourself. And they keep doing that so well, and it just shows why they're at first place right now.
Well, they are in first place, and it's most likely to stay at least within the top 8 if they can just have a couple of good performances over the next few days. And it's more than likely we'll get to see it. I'm going to look down the sheet as well just to go through all of the other teams and stuff we have here. Because we've obviously got plenty of time to talk about this as we're waiting on. No one wants to let us go to a break. I'd quite be in favour of that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you know. Break time is always advised when we're just talking non-stop. So let's talk about this FromHell team, right? FromHell at the moment, they're sat in 6th place. Come from Group A. They've had 8 matches played so far, like everyone else, but 102 points for placement points, 36 in kills. Now, sorry, 39 in kills for that. And what the one thing I saw from FromHell was, group stages, we weren't mocking them because it wasn't awful, but they were very much sometimes making top 8. Maybe getting into the top 4 on an occasional map. And then every other time, we'd see them go down early on, taking fights, not doing well. And, like, they didn't do particularly well to get through. And this time around, it was like a whole different team. It's like they really did do their research. They did their homework. They did their preparation.
I'm just trying to think, like, what they changed. I think the biggest thing they did, they started playing as a team. They started to say, hey, okay, maybe we should assign roles. Maybe we need to talk about how we want to do rotations, how we want to take these fights. Because I remember in the group stages, because they're called FromHell, and their in-game tag is K, I was like, we didn't even notice that team. We had 32 teams. We didn't know all of them before. We hadn't seen them that much. So we were like trying to figure them out. But they were like, they changed up their playstyle so much that they actually play like as a team. They know how to work with each other, how to breach compounds, when to do it to some extent. And I think that's literally all it did, right? So they probably had 4 good individual players, but they didn't work on their teamwork. But coming into the semifinals, they probably watched through some of the games, saw what some of the teams...
Bring us over here so I can actually look at it and give you some information off all of this going on. So, one thing as well is where you were saying that about the teamwork coming into play, there's not really one player who's massive. Like, okay, there's a player with 13 kills, but all of them are putting in damage.
Yeah.
So, we've got one player who's had 7 kills but 2k damage, one player with 13 kills and 1,900 damage, we've got another player with 9 kills. It's very even, very like good overall idea of, okay, we don't need one player to have amazing performance in order for us to get this done. And I'm going to go back to the stats and standings from when we do the group stages, just to show you guys actually how crazy it was for this team.
What place did they come in?
That's what I'm going to go find out. So when they were 16th. That's what I mean, 16th. And the 16th there was for them. They had 111 placement points again, but it was only 30 kill points, so a lower team on the kill points. This time around, they've just another level on it. Even DM99 is actually probably the most consistent. Team Unique and DM99, both of them top the overall standings. 270 points for Team Unique, 262 points for DM99.
Yeah. One team, like I was talking about teams, it's White Balls. They're not playing together as a unit. They play one by one by one by one, and they always like, they don't win out on trades because they go in with that. But as the quality of the teams get higher, they've been the teams that have been hurt the most, right? Because their individual playstyle is really not working out. And
just to point out, just to kind of affirm your point there, White Pulse finished in 4th overall of 32 teams. They had 174 placement points and 58 kill points. They weren't one of the lowest kill point teams within the top 8 either. They're looking very strong. And like you were just saying there, it's completely disappeared going into where we are now in the semi-finals. I am genuinely scared that they're not going to make it. And yet, when we were there, you would have easily said, if we'd not got the semi-finals, we go to week 1, we would have all said, yeah, White Pulse probably going to be within the top 16.
100%. But, I mean, we've all watched the games, and they just keep going one by one by one. They never go as a team. And, like, if they want to show up, they want to have a real chance, like, to any team here, you're not going to make it if you play as if you have 4 superstars.
Nope.
You need to work together, and everybody needs to play off each other.
Well, we're back to normal. We didn't need a break, clearly, after all of that. It is now going into Vikendi. We get to see how it all pans out. But honestly, I just hope the game goes forward. And I hope we get to see a good game of Vikendi as always. Vikendi always gives us our craziest games going forward.
Oh, yeah. And we do probably get a very slow ending here. Or not ending, beginning as we go straight center over the entire map. So teams will be able to do what they want to do. We've seen consistent input Buster. White Pulse always stand there and they're really keen to fight. And it looks like Magic, CZ, and White Pulse is potentially in the area. FTP FeelThePain, they have Valnova, Huge City all to themselves. TQ, they're doing a bit of a split around Dinopad and Movocha. Avangar, they're looting all the way down south. And one thing we see a lot from these teams that are playing Vikendi is there's so many compounds. Whenever you're not in the city and you play the open terrain, well, there's not that much open terrain. It's all just surrounded by compounds. So Vikendi, more than any map, I would like to say, it's a super viable strategy to split up, to go around and loot all these compounds. But when you do that, you have a big chance of getting picked apart. You don't really know what to do if, like, a team roads up on you. So personally, I prefer looting a city. Then you have the safety net of, hey, all 4 teammates are here. We're not going to lose anyone early. And if you win that city battle, more often than not, teams will not return. And White Balls, they fought off so many different teams in Vodposto here. And I believe it's the first time that Magic have landed here. But maybe Magic's been like, hey, White Balls, they've been doing really, really poorly. We like this loot spot, and we can take them on. I say that as they're disengaging, so...
They don't want to take that challenge just yet.
That's interesting, because White Balls, they've only ever landed in Vodposto. And if you watch any of the games, you would know that they would be landing there. So if they didn't say, hey, we're going to take this fight early on because there's White Balls in the bottom of the leaderboard, so I'm a little bit interested why Magic is landing there. Ames, I'm going to hit you up with my, I don't know!
It is a true I don't know moment, but what is a good moment for a lot of teams on here is where the circle has gone. We've gone up north and to the west. We've got Kuma inside, Unique inside, Storm, DM as well. And some of these teams are the ones we're seeing right at the top over and over again. So it's a positive for them that they've already landed in a good place. But what we often see from this is where the kills don't come in just as much because of that, because they get it a little bit easier early on. And DM under pressure from Hell, but Matic, the man fragging out like crazy, he does get one knock in there. Robdini's going around and saying, Matic, you had a good amount of kills so far, brother, but this is going to be the end of that. They're dancing around the tree. He does finally finish him off. He'll have no problem bringing Valak up, and FromHell do survive with 4 players left alive.
I'm so happy I mentioned this, right? It can be really possible. You get a lot of loot if you go into these split strats while in the early game. But if you do run into a team there's more than 1 or 2, you have a chance of losing out. And DM here, they're losing their quote-unquote key player Matic, who has 28 kills, top fragger of the tournament. The guy with the second most kills has 18. So obviously a key player and the fragger from DM getting taken down early. But DM, they're not happy with this. So Nukes, he gets a return frag. And we'll see if the last 3 members of DM99 will push in on this and clean out the 2 members from FromHell. And if they can do it cleanly. Right? You take some pride. When you're #1 team, you have so many kills, you're not going to let anyone hustle with you.
Definitely not. Definitely not when it comes down to it. Now we've got Team Romania on us. FromHell back in it again. They're getting another revive, so 2 players being knocked down. DM have said, hey, anything you can do, we can do better. And actually, we can deliver some more kills on here, potentially. That Molotov is scarily close. Valak was able to avoid it. He is on the stairs. But Nukas, he's found Robdini, and that's another player down. So Valak revives 1, but they just take another with him. And now DM will start this breach, and this is what they're so good at. Valak's trying to hide around the corner. He can see what's going on, but he can't get anything done. This is what we talk about with DM. Style points all day long. They walk away with a full set of kills. They've only got 1 more player to find.
Yeah, they somehow managed to get a knock onto Whitey, who might have been driving up to the compound. I didn't see what happened, but now, FromHell, it seemed replaced a bit, are down to just 1 member. And DM, showing their dominance. Even though they're losing Matic, they're like, hey, this is our lobby. We can do whatever we want. And you can just see them. They're having fun while doing it. They know exactly what to do. They're like, hey, there's 1 guy in a room. We're going to get our SMGs up. We're going to run and jump at him. And when 2 guys are jumping in front of you, it's so hard to even connect shots. And the luxury of having SMGs is you can jump, sprint, and hip fire and still connect a lot of bullets in comparison to some assault rifles. So a really good way to push these buildings out, having no fear whatsoever.
Now, when it comes to these teams starting to rotate in, Avangar go for their usual spot down south. They like to be the teams that can come up and try and wipe some of the teams after they've fought it out for a little bit. FTP have got a little way to go when it comes down into it. CZ, our current last place team, right on the edge there, all the way over towards the east. And the rotation in for them is going to be a bit easier because there's more space on this side of things. The Romanians staying up north at the moment. They've got time as well.
Yep, like you mentioned, we had a western airplane for the most part, so when CZ goes that far to the east, it's going to be very clear for them. And that is something you can always take into consideration, is look at the pain path, then you know, alright, if the circle is on the west, the plane is on the west, then the western side is going to be more congested, and you might want to avoid that area if you are looking for compounds to play, or rotations, and all that good stuff.
Now TQ, we saw them have that battle on our first game. They ended up getting remade. As M19 are finding 2 players getting knocked down by Pro God Lord. He's back up to his old tricks. Last week he had that insane 3v1 that he pulled off that just blew our minds, right, Lars? And now he just seems to be... What is going on? Storm are just like wiping out all of M19 here. That's James, 2 players down already.
I want to interrupt you. He had 2 3v1s.
2 3... There you go, see? Pro God Lord is the clutch master when it comes down to it.
I remember you had one on Vikendi in that house with the Molotov.
Yep.
And then there was apartments near school on Erangel.
And that was the crazy one. Like, he should have never been able to win it. And all of a sudden, he was like, nope, I believe in myself. I will get the job done. No problems.
Kuma here is taking a little bit more together in the early game. I like it. They've been, in the past, I believe they just looked like 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. And then they group up later, and we seem to lose out on players early, so maybe slowing it down a bit and having at least 2 by 2, unless they're already looted up and they're just splitting now. 2 compounds right next to each other, looking like they're getting into vehicles, if I'm not mistaken here. Avangar, we saw earlier, they were all the way down south. They're sending it pretty much straight to the middle, but on the southern side. So they made their way in. M19 I assume this is the last player alive because we saw all that go down by Storm.
Yeah.
So he's going to be having to play on the back foot. But if you're an M19 fan, you don't have to worry for them. Currently sitting in second place. And if they just have a few decent games, they should stay in the top 16 no matter what.
They certainly should. Now, we saw Kuma a little while ago as well. I really would like to see them, considering they're in the circle already, hunker themselves more towards the center, play it smarter. Saw them getting vehicles as well. Get yourself a compound and defend it. Don't just allow people to roll up on you.
Yeah.
Look at holding it down. Take your position, feel confident in yourself, and deliver to the level. We've seen them do a few times, but it's all about that consistency we talk about many, many times.
They definitely need to practice on their confidence levels.
Yeah.
I assume they've gotten to this point. They're in the semifinals. They have to be able to shoot them in fights.
Of course.
But whenever we see them, it just looks like they're scared, they're nervous. I don't know what it is, but if you're going to be good, you need to be confident. You need to just think of the basics, say, okay, I have cover. I don't just need to look at the enemy and shoot them.
They were certainly backing away a lot more when it came to it.
Oh, yeah.
As we've got FTP here. They've got Bemyloot close by. Going to get their rotation on somewhere else by the looks of it, or use the car as a bit of a cover place to put it somewhere if they want to hold on to this spot. It's a very slow game as we get many of these when it comes to Vikendi. And then all of a sudden we get to phases 4 and 5. And everyone goes, we've run out of space again. Because it is a smaller map.
Oh, yeah. Smaller map, really slow circles. They often center. So whereas in Miramar and especially Erangel and even Sanak, you have hard shifts early on, so people have to make drastic rotations. But here, for some reason, it's designed so until circle 4, it's just like centering and you don't really have to do much.
Now BKB, the BuzzKillBros. A great name, and they have been a team previously to show us what they can do. It's time for them to really show their stuff if they want to make sure they do grab that regional spot. Avangar, while things are looking good for him, Bandita is currently the #2 ranked player in terms of kills. And he did have a lot of good kills, a lot of good games overall for his team. If they were winning, he was one of the guys really being the point man for it when it came to it all.
Yep.
And they don't have to really decide on when they want to go out just yet. They can just hold on here. They already had that one rotation in. And like we said, right, they're always one of the final teams to rotate.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's important that you get all the loot you need, all the utility, all the meds, all the ammo you need to play a game comfortably. And they obviously have probably some of the best rotations out of all of these teams. They always manage to get a good spot. They don't usually lose a lot of people on their rotations. So they have kind of figured out these maps, how to rotate, drive on them, which paths to take, and how to scout a lot. And we see the circle update, and they're moving. Even though they're pretty decent, they have gone so literally at the straight center, and they're all sending it to him now.
Magic making their way up as well. We saw a few games from Magic where we say, all right, this is really good, but they're not the team where I expect them to get the big wins. That's the only downside for them here. But this is proof in the pudding where it says that you don't have to have wins to get up there and be in a position where you can qualify for regionals. You can just be consistently, sometimes getting towards the top 8, getting a few kill points alongside it. We've seen teams be able to just sit around that top 8 area purely off of that and been very happy of what they've been able to achieve.
Yep. But I just want to stress out, your goal can't be to do that, to just get to the regional finals, but when you get to the regional finals, we have 2 spots. Oh, like you need to play so well if you even want to have a chance of making it to the global finals.
Oh no, White Pulse once again. Under a bit of pressure here, FTP have found them, Class has hit the deck, and then instantly being flushed out. None of his other teammates seem to be going down yet, so maybe he was just caught away from the rest of the team potentially.
Yep, White Balls, they've been very keen to just blindly crash into compounds. And doing it this early on I mean, I don't know exactly what happened, but they've been keen to do it. And there's no reason to. Like, you see the map, we know the map. There's going to be so much open real estate. And it's a good option to do once you get later into the game and every other option is denied from you. But doing it in Circle 1, Circle 2, Circle 3, to some extent Circle 4, is bad.
Yeah.
It's not something you should build your game plan around anyway.
Certainly something that you're not going to get the big wins with. Definitely not. Definitely not. As Unique a team we've seen and know so much about. They're also one of the most popular teams when we look at chat. Like, there is always someone spamming a good, like, it goes Team Unique, and there's like Kitsune, Yasha, Old Boy, Nagi, and then Love Heart spammed everywhere. So they've got their little cheering squad in chat. If you're a Unique fan, you'll be very happy to know they are playing very well. They are doing good across the board. But Old Boy, he had one of those games where we saw like ridiculous amount of kills.
Yep. It was a Erangel ending. It was near Severny. Did he have what? He had over 10, but I can't remember if it was a lot over 10 or not. But 2-digit kill numbers from one person is pretty much unheard of in this game. It happens so seldomly.
And we've got Nopsa Hand here on the roof. He's made a bit of noise. He's got his teammates around him, but he's got a BKB player just in front of him to help him out, to be the scout there for him. Yep. They can hear what's going on with the car. So I like the positions they've got set up here, right? Because it means that he can jump up if his teammate gets put under pressure. Welcome to the lobby. Poser took some damage, but he will have to walk away. The smoke's giving him enough cover here to get out of it. More shots coming at him, though. And guess who they've run into? My oh my, it's DM, who seem to be able to choose all the fights in the right way. They're going to instantly try and get the res up, but I wouldn't be surprised if DM now go and send for it. They've done it before, and they'll do it again. The new circle pops. We've gone, again, more towards the center, a nice and fair circle. We've excluded all the water, which is a positive here for at least how it will end out.
Yep. Welcome to the lobby. Already losing out. They're on foot. You do not want to be on foot in circle 2, because you still have to traverse so much more. And they're under heavy fire from DM, a team that often doesn't miss their shots. Jonathan is trying to make something work in the Deja, but they need to get in cover, as DM will just pick them apart.
That's a double knock now for Poser as well. More shots coming out towards the car. DM. I honestly, this team is just so damn good, Larson.
They never miss an opportunity to take these fights and these kills. Other teams might not even have been as persistent, but look at them. They're hitting every shot almost.
So much damage being done. Jonathan's got the hell out of there because he didn't want his car to be exploded. And like you said, they need it for the rotation.
Yep.
The thing is, DM don't even need to push up. They're playing the long-range game here.
And this is the aggression you need to take, right? Just putting the damage, putting the hurt into other teams, making sure nobody wants to breach you, and just stacking up those kill points.
Oh no, Jonathan.
All adds up.
He needs to be careful.
Yeah.
That car has been shot at multiple times now.
Gailey here, he's like, alright, you guys got away, but we got a knock. We did a bunch of damage to you guys. You're not coming anywhere near us. Job done. For now anyway. And this is how you want to play these compounds as well. On top of the roofs, close to the edges of the compound, so if anybody were to breach, you still have decent cover. And if you get a knock on 2 as they approach you, then you can take the fight so cleanly. But if you don't manage to get the knocks, you need to be able to disengage, regroup, and not try to take the fight like one before, as we see so often by actually a lot of people, right? Like, oh, somebody drove off to my building while I was AFK. I should go out and check what it is, and then he just dies. I feel like I've seen that scenario too many times from some of the teams.
The first player eliminated, right, in the early part of the game. And DM, compared to other teams at that point would sit there and say, all right, we're just going to give up, like, we're going to play a bit more passive, not play. DM are playing exactly the same. Nothing has changed.
That's a very good point, and that just shows, right, the confidence in these guys. They're like, hey, we lost the guy with the most kills. Well, it's just because we're helping him. We're just as good as him, right? And that's what makes these star teams, having all 4 players, having the confidence and the skill to just frag out and not be afraid to take fights. Really, really cool to see. And that's honestly what makes or breaks a team, right? Some teams maybe have 2 fraggers and 2 guys that are a little bit more passive.
Yeah.
But the best of the best, you have 4 star players. You don't necessarily see them be a quote-unquote star player, but they're able to when they don't have to support whoever is leading the frags. TQ?
Chilling.
Yeah. Could you imagine if a team rolled up here? Like, they wouldn't be able to defend it.
No,
they would
not
just
at
get
all.
free access.
And Carrick is all, it's like, what I don't understand with this, if you're going to do what they're doing here, 2-2 split it. Don't 3-1 it, because Carrick's just the first, he's going to sit there and go, great, no one's going to be able to res me.
Yep.
That's kind of the bad position to play from in that sense, but Everyone apart from CZ, who seems to be really going for the most passive I've ever seen him go in my entire life. We did criticize them for fighting early, so I'll take this. I'm not going to complain about it. This will work if they can just keep creeping in, stay within, don't get hit by the zone, and just avoid a few teams if they want to play it like that. But eventually they will be forced to fight, and that's when it's game on for these guys. As Avangar, you hear him rattling away a few shots. But who are they rattling the shots at?
To be fair, Avangar, they're straight center in the zone. I don't think they'll be getting breached, and if they get a knock, it'll just be people sitting in their compounds. They might trade back some bullets, some ammo, some meds, but ultimately I don't think they'll do anything if they even manage to get a knock here. A team that's doing something is welcome to the lobby, as they're getting picked apart by BKB here. Don't know where that's happening, but welcome to the lobby. They're not through yet. They're currently in 8th position, but it's very, very close. They're only 50 points away from being out of it, and if you have like a couple of bad games, then you're gonna be so close to actually falling out. So they need to have good performances, and we can see now they lost the Glum Guard early on, and Eclipse, he's still knocked. Jonathan is close by, but they used the utility earlier when they were fighting DM, and they need to be careful. As you can see, they're trapped here on the edge. Gate kept by BKB. And welcome to the lobby. They're not getting any rest. They do have a few games of buffer to stay safe, but like I said, if you don't show up and show up soon, then it might look really, really bad for them. And that's not a fun position to be in. Some teams do thrive though. I can speak from personal experience. When you're behind, you feel like you have nothing to lose, and then you just do crazy things, take big risk, and sometimes that's a huge reward. Whereas if you're in the lead, you might end up playing a little bit more passive, and that ends up hurting your gameplay.
I love this. Someone said to me, Unique is like Old Trafford, one love. Old Trafford, Man United, best team in the world. Don't at me, don't have a go at me. I probably triggered a lot of people there. I'm happy you can compare Unique to them.
You said best team in the world, you meant Barcelona, right?
Get out of here, Larson. I am British.
Yeah.
I support a proper team. I don't care on recent results. Legacy is everything.
Whenever James says anything about national pride, I always try to harm him.
Yeah, you've thrown Brexit at me enough.
Oh, yeah. We had a fun conversation yesterday, and then he said, yeah, I'm from the UK, we're smarter than everyone. And then he just clapped him on the shoulder and said, what about Brexit?
Yeah, Theresa May.
But there's nothing wrong. I feel like everybody has some nationalism in them. They're proud of their country. They're happy where they come from.
I'd be proud if we maybe got rid of Theresa May. DM style.
Finally, we see a circle where teams will have to move. A little bit of a hard shift towards the western side. We can see DM is sitting strong, Avangar sitting strong, Magic, but a lot of teams here will have to move. White Poles, Romania, Kuma, FTP, they're almost in. BMLStorm, CZ, even some TQ members, all have to make their way to the zone. Finally, in the next few minutes, we'll have a lot of actions. As we can see, the blue is already closing in.
We can pat ourselves on the back, though. We've handled this well. We've done like 30 minutes of filling, and we've got this long, slow game to start off with as Unique. They've got the Romanians out of their vehicles, and then they start to fight them. Hey, the only member left alive, M19, hears all this and is probably shaking in his boots in that hut. This is less than ideal, as Old Boy gets a nade out, and these nades are pretty well placed, but are they going to get the finishes off there? FTPs come into it, and Romania are sandwiched between multiple teams. Being picked apart ever so slowly, but Unique have to be careful. You don't want to overextend here, and if you can back away, even if you don't get the kill points, you stay alive for those key placement points overall. As we get one team eliminated, we're down to 15. I believe that's the Romanians gone. And one thing I noticed when we had the map screen up just a little bit ago was that we're actually only already got 2 White Pulse members left alive. This is not what we want to see, Larson. Not if you're a White Pulse fan.
Exactly. They're not going together. They're getting picked apart alone with no chance of rests or revives.
That nade... Oh, it's a smoke, thank God. I thought he got naded on his head by his teammate. I was like, what the hell? Where did that come from? Luckily, it was just a smoke, and he will just be able to hide it out as... Here we go, Kozak from White Pulse, he gets eliminated. Frost is knocked down, so maybe there was still one more left there.
Yep. Old Boy here connecting some amazing shots onto FTP. They're the ones feeling the pain right now. We'll have to see if they want to commit on this. Welcome to the lobby. They found Kuma getting knocks back and forth. Avangar, they're cleaning up from the center to zone. Unique managed to... Old Boy managed to get another knock onto FTP. And this could potentially be a push.
CZ died out to the play zone. 2 players just then. What is going on?
James, I don't know.
I think White Pulse maybe have been eliminated now as well because we've seen 14 teams go. Everyone on CZ's gone out to the play zone. What is this?
Okay.
BML onto Avangar during this point. FTP still pinned down, still struggling to push out. If any nades come out towards them, they're so clustered together that I would be very scared. You'd see potentially 3 knocks come in.
Trying to work off the kill feed. I feel like we got rid of BML and they're out now in 14 spots, so we're down to just 13 teams. And Avangar, they're managing to recover with at least 3. No, there's 4 people from Avangar. So they defended their push from BML. They're good. Oh boy, found his 3rd knock in a row onto FTP. But the rest of Unique is moving down. They're like, alright, you got our back. The circle hard shifts away from us. We need to push our way through or away from Magic here to make our way into the next zone. So you can see some of the Magic members are really split. But one thing they're not doing is watching the hill, so Unique is allowed to just run down for free. As we actually see one CZ member is still alive. But Pro God Lord, him and his Molotovs, maybe a more cunning duo, gets a bit of damage onto him, but he gets taken down by Hellfire, and that's CZ down in 13th spot.
I was having high hopes for CZ managing to maybe make a bit of a change there in how they approach it, but you do have to move out of the blue. That's kind of the game.
Yep.
Overall, I don't even know how to be nice at this point, Lars, and I'm falling into your traps here.
I mean, to be fair, you can't just be the kind parent always. Sometimes you have to be like, you need to do better.
Yeah, and that truly is.
You can always be nice. I feel like we're very kind to the people that deserves it.
DM, that's one of them that deserves it. Warfarin's on the floor. He's found himself knocked down, but his teammates are doing what they usually do best. Ripping other teams apart that get close to them as they hold themselves on here. Avangar looking at it. They've got 4 players still alive, which is a good spot for them to be in, but they can shoot as multiple teams are running in front of them. And Kitsune's been found by Bandita. Bandita, I said, 2nd person up on there for the kills overall. Kitsune gets flushed out, and Unique will just have to keep on rolling, keep on driving, and get themselves inside the zone. But Avangar are hot on their heels and working their way up with Magic taking additional shots at them as well.
You can just tell how hungry Bandita is. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. They're just one guy. And then it's like, no, we're resting. Come back here.
Yeah, he's like, wait,
it's like,
wait.
But I want to go. No.
He's like a dog on a leash. He's like, let me go, let me go. He's like, no, you come back here.
And that's definitely needed sometimes. Having a guy who can say, no, it's more important that you're alive than risk you going out and dying alone. As we see, welcome to the lobby. Somehow managed to recover. They were losing a few members early. They were under so much pressure, but they're still in the zone.
Carrick trying to find some cover. Welcome to the lobby, able to do some long-range damage. They've lost 1 player already. As Lightning, he's up, he's standing. He's the only one left alive for M19, but look, they're still not that far away from getting placement points, as you can see up in the top left.
Old Boy just died, so that's Unique out in 12th position.
Oh no. Unexpected, but again, we said Vikendi is the difference maker in the sense that it's not normal compared to the other games.
They had to make some rough rotations, and then they obviously didn't come out ahead. I believe Old Boy was the last remaining member. No, they have Nagi, so I have to take that back, but Old Boy did die. So they were just a little bit split across the map.
Yeah, it's hard to, because remember what happens with Vikendi. It goes from being really open to really closed very quickly. Yeah. After that long opening that we had where nothing really happens. And this is because there's just no room anymore to fit all the players in. So everyone's being found. And this is where, if you're lucky, you've got a bit of a circle benefit. You've got a compound. If you're FTP, you're unlucky. You've got a compound to fire from. But soon you're going to have to move out. And it's about 20 seconds that are going to have to move. And that's not going to be good for them.
Yeah, and FTP here, they're only worrying about what's in front of them. But what we can see in the minimap is they actually have quite a few people behind them. And if they're not careful, we could see TQ strike here. Maybe.
We've got welcome to the lobby nearby. FromHell. Able to blow up the car. Managed to knock one because of it.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. FeelThePain. They had the chance to hold back. Welcome to lobby. Move ahead of them. But they stuck around. They were focused on what's in front of them, not behind them. And now welcome to lobby might just pass them. Make it into the zone and then gatekeep them.
Storm getting up in there and involved. Fear finding, knocks BKB in it as well. Bandita gets flushed out, he'll go down. Gonzo's gone as well. I think that's Avangar going to be eliminated because Maki is the next one to go. This cannot be looking good for them.
Yep, he
8
got
teams.
9.
Jesus.
Both
This is
lobbies
mad.
getting picked apart, and it looks like all of them might also have died in the rotation into the zone. FTP getting picked apart, they couldn't make it in either. I think that one healing in the blue, but it's not looking great for them. They actually have, one guy just creeping in with the entirety of Magic in front of him.
Look how many teams are getting eliminated. He got his way into the top 5.
How are we 4 to team up?
In about 2 seconds, we must have had solo players dying everywhere. We've got Storm in it, we've got Magic in it, and DM, the classic team, over and over again, you lose their #1 player, and it doesn't even matter. They've got themselves just outside this new circle, and they've got themselves a good compound to fight from, and they've got Storm pinned down in front of them. Lightning, M19, he's still there chilling.
So we saw that M19, they lost 3 members really, really early on, but M19, they don't kill people, but they always get the placement points. They got 2 first places and 2 second places the last day we played last week. And they somehow can just stay alive for so long. But obviously they have 0 kills, but that doesn't really matter as long as you can get those placement points. DM though, they're just on another level. 8 kills for them. Secure top 4 right now, but they could go ahead and win this game. We're not going to count them out just yet. I will count the other opposition out, because Storm, they're still looking strong. Magic has at least 3 alive. And Lightning, he has very fast to get into the zone.
Storm's just going to go out and try and go on a bit of a cleanup duty onto Magic who they've dealt damage to. This has allowed DM to push forward though. It's given them a bit of space to work their way into the circle. Storm do have 4 alive, up at 9 kills. Very impressive. Gabella's making his way forward first. He's going to be the front runner for this, but Nukas is down there. Drone was spotted out. Warfarin's been seen as well. Shots coming out. Gnarly's found Lightning. That's M19 out. We're into the 1 team versus 1 team. It's Storm going up against DM. DM have got to be careful here, but they're still able to deal a lot of damage. Warfarin getting it done, but he's instantly refragged. And now Gnarly has 2 teammates being picked apart here, but he's got to find 2 kills. Hellfire and Pro God Lord are just around the corner. If Nukas can spot this out and give him the information, a well-placed nade could be very vital. Damage comes in. He's got the chance. It's a 1v1 now. Gnarly knows he can do it. He's delivered it many times before. And instantly you see Pro God Lord gets a little bit scared. The shots come out. Oh, and he gets it done. Storm take the win, but that was right to the wire. Low on health. Pro God Lord was very close to being completely taken down and eliminated in that final fight. About 25 health, I would gather to imagine there.
Every single player on DM's team, they're so deadly. They don't hesitate. They have no fear. Just running and gunning. But Storm, they had the better position on them, and they had the numbers, and they used that to their advantage. So really well played by Storm, getting the chicken dinner, 12 kills on them, 10 on DM, 0 on M19, but a 3rd place. It was just a snake performance from Lightning.
Carly, though, I got to say, you have the zone pushing you. You tried to use the tree as cover, then you had to run, and he just focused on where he thought Pro God Lord would come out, waited for it to happen, sprayed as much as he could, did a lot of damage. That was almost a win.
Yep.
And then he went down. You cannot even complain about that. DM, you lost Matic from the beginning. This is just a team who I cannot even begin to think is not going to be one of those teams who is really a front runner for the regionals here, just overall in terms of not just qualifying for the regionals, but potentially taking one of the top 2 spots if they can continue to be this deadly.
Oh, yeah. But one thing I do want to point out, right? The regional finals, it's going to be a LAN tournament, I believe, and it might be a new experience for some of these players.
Yeah.
So that might have a big performance, but if they can keep up their confidence levels they have right now, they're unstoppable.
LAN is a completely different beast as well when it gets to it, right? You've got all the other teams around you. You're on the comfort of your own environment, your own home. Yes, it's a better way to play the game in the sense that, like, all 4 of you are together right next to each other playing. You're on the stage and stuff like that. But some people, that gets to them. Their nerves start to kick in. Things start to feel a little bit like, okay, now I've really done it, right? Like, they're seeing the money is there on the end of the line. We've nearly qualified. And that actually sometimes can be a little bit of a negative effect to some of these teams.
Oh, yeah. And at least for me, the way I look at the qualifying to a LAN tournament and LAN tournaments is like when you have to qualify, it's like preparing for the big, bad, scary exam. And then once you make it to LAN tournament, it's like celebration. Like you just play, you have your own game to worry about. You made it. You're going there, you're getting all the exposure, and you have the chance to take home the trophy. So I actually feel like as soon as you get to the tournament and you qualify, a lot of pressure is relieved, and it's just about having a good time, doing your best.
And fear does not really exist. I'm one of these guys, right, that's in this, like, I watch a lot of these, like, motivational videos and stuff. I watched one literally the other day. I shared it on my Facebook page about Will Smith said he jumped out of a plane, right? And what he did was, he said he was so scared going up, and it was like ruining the whole experience. And he said the thing that is worse about it, as soon as he jumped out and started just skydiving, it was, he said, like ecstasy, like pure heaven. He was just loving every step of it. And that is because fear itself can sometimes just crush what you want to do. So you've got to try and train your mindset in a way. And a lot of pro players, they can do that because we see it now with teams who end up getting things like psychologists and stuff like that. And DMStorm, 42 points, 30 placement points, 12 kills. DM19, though, still walking away with 32 points. FeelThePain up in there on 21. Now, M19, right, they got third place, just off placement points and no kills. They're still within the top 5. This is just for them, the way they get it done.
And yeah, 19 points is really, really good here. At least if you get 90 points every game, you're through. You made it.
Yeah.
And like getting 19 points with them here when they lost 3 of the team that early on is so impressive. They could have maybe tried to get a few cleanup kills, but well played by them. And we look at the bottom: OBS, Epic, TQ, FeelThePain, Ace, Magic, Rest.
Look how much that's helped DMStorm, though. They're now up in 9th place. All up with 140 points. They're nearly breaking through to that top 8. If they can just get a couple more games like that, not even just wins, but just in the kill side of things and alongside top 8 placements, they'll be loving life today.
Is this the new updated leaderboards?
I'm guessing so now, yeah.
So Storm, they had to have been really far down.
Yeah, let me check first.
I mean, they got 42 points now, right? So that should help them massively. And yeah, this looks like the new leaderboard because DM19, they have 79 kills rather than the 69. So Storm, they must have been right next to elimination in terms of points. But much we needed from them to get a huge performance here.
DM99 now over the 200-point mark. Brilliant from them. M19 still able to stand strong in there. Avangar not far behind them. Then at least from, I'd say from 4th all the way down till probably 11th, 12th at the moment is a scary position to be in. Because you go from 119 points in 13th all the way up to 146 there for Welcome to the Lobby. It's a scary spot to be in. It can be one of those ones where you say, all right, just a couple of good games can see you instantly go back up there and steal one of the spots away.
And that's why I keep looking at Welcome to the Lobby. They're just not getting the big performances they need to solidify the spot right now. But they do have a decent threshold of points. I would say if they get about 60 to 70 more points, they're through, but they're just not there yet.
Well, if you guys at home want to see more information, see the standings, see the schedules, know exactly what's going on here for the PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019, and not just for the Europe region that you're watching right now, for all the regions across the board, head over to clubopen.pubgmobile.com, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And the reason why we want you to subscribe there is because you can look back at all the VODs, all the days before, see all the action that's gone on, and you'll understand a bit of what me and Larson are telling you about from what we've seen from these group stages to what we've seen on previous days. But for now, we're going to go into a break. And when you come back, it's going to be Miramar. It's time to heat things up and see what these teams can do once again. Enjoy the break, and we'll see you soon.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Play PUBG Mobile for free.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
DMStorm took the commanding victory in Game 1, walking away with 12 kills and the win, going up against our current #1 team in DM99. As always, you've got myself, James Banks, joined by Matthias Larson to bring you all the action. We've got 3 more games coming your way today, and next up is going to be Miramar before we head on the 2 Erangel games. And Miramar, Larson, it is a tough match to see because it is a tough map for rotations. It's an interesting map in how it happens and how it goes down. But a lot of these teams we see, they are very flabbergasted by it all.
Yep. So Miramar in particular, what makes it really hard is 1, as you mentioned, the rotations.
Yep.
2 is third partying, because a lot of these fights are on a hilltop, and if you want to shoot at a team, you have to peek the hilltop. But when you expose yourself, you open yourself to other teams, not necessarily only the teams you're shooting at. So when you take some of these fights, early, mid, late game, you have to be so careful that you don't get third-partied all the time. And that's pretty much the name of the game on Miramar. It's really hard to take fights in that map if you are not confident with it.
Now, if things was to end today, these would be your teams that make it to the regionals. But we've got 2 more days ahead of us alongside the 3 remaining games. And this is where the standings currently sit. And if your team's from 13th down to 16th, it's starting to look a little bit more scary. But realistically, anyone from, I'd say, 4th all the way down to 16th is pretty much, there's a chance that they can quickly change around from a few good games. The problem is, for a lot of these teams from the top 16, their consistency isn't there to have those good games over and over again.
So the way I usually look at it is you look at #1 team after they've played 8 games, and that was roughly 200 points. So every team that gets over 200 points thresholds should, in theory, be safe.
Yeah.
So we can just look at these teams and say, okay, they've gotten a little over 200 points. They probably will have qualified. That's a good way to do it.
That's actually a very smart
It works
way
for me every time I do it in PUBG anyway.
I'd say at the moment, DM99 and M19, there's no way they wouldn't qualify here, right? They're guaranteed, basically. For the other teams, there's still a little bit of wiggle room in there. Avangar's probably solidified when it comes down to it. I'm not trying to even do quick maths really fast here as how it goes down.
But I mean, right, they have, 7 more games to get those, 30-something points in theory be through. So in 7 games, you'd imagine they'll get that amount of points.
You'd hope so. You'd hope so. Avangar have looked like a good team. They went down early, but they met into Unique, who was spraying them down when it came to it. It was a bit of a tough run up the hill to get in that zone for them. I would be really interested, right? I just wish we could replay Vikendi as we did, but DM have 4 players alive and see how that went down, because it was just amazed me. They lost a player, the first player down out of the entire game, and they still went in with 2nd place, and they still got 10 kills. Like, what is this? What? It's just, they are on another level. It's very impressive to see these guys. And I think if there's other teams out there, look at what DM are doing. Yes, the individual skill comes into it because they are all fragging. And it's not like, Matic just proved with him going down first. Yes, he's got 28 kills. Yeah. He died. That meant that actually the other team can still frag. He's just one of the guys able to do it consistently over and over again.
I mean, a really good example is Kaylee, right? He only had 2 kills that game, but whenever we saw him shoot, he was nailing everyone. But he might just be remembered like, all right, you guys should get the kills. I'll just make sure nobody sneaks up behind us so we can close out these games. But when it comes down to it, these guys are just on another level than probably most of the other teams in here.
And everyone has their positions within the team, right? You have the in-game leader, you have the more scouting player, you have that heavy hitter, the firepower, the one that delivers all the damage. And then you have the other player that kind of has more of a supportive role amongst it. As we look at the plane we're going to get, and this is what you like to see, split straight down the middle. We're going to be going all the way across, and it's going to end up just outside towards the south of El Pozo, which means pretty much anyone who's got a spot within this should be happy with where they'll be able to grab.
So you got this all wrong, James. I'm sorry. We hate to see it. The players love to have
that's it. Yeah,
we want the players to be miserable, unhappy, crying, struggling to do stuff. This is too easy for them.
Every now and again, we'll give them one. They can have an easy game once in a while. All the rest of the games, the last 2 Erangel games, I want military. I want Severny with 60% water.
But yeah, this way, all the teams are happy, I'm sure. I mean, you can pretty much get to anywhere you need. And no team should be struggling too much. But if you like to loot all the way down south, that's the only downside. But I mean, you're not going to travel there. But you'll have so many other options to do, as Las Leones can fit a lot of teams, El Paso can fit a lot of teams. You can even go north than that. And look at that straight center right where the plane was. As we see pretty much half the server, they're already in the zone. This is probably going to be a little bit slow just because of how the plane went. Yeah. And the circle. But M19, 0 kills last game. Looks like they found a knock onto Motto here. And Thanos looks like he wants to do something about it.
Thanos is like, okay, where's the rest of his players? Where's the rest of the FTP team? He's got his teammates around him. Poser's found a kill, or knock, sorry, to start off with onto Gabella. No flush coming in. It comes back to what we were saying, mate, wasn't it? It's like the flushes aren't as quickly there for these guys.
Yeah, I don't even think Jonathan had a gun, but Poser here will finish him off so he can't go to safety. I mean, that's fair play, right? That guy was crawling away.
Yeah.
Definitely do not want them to get rest here. And they were fighting so early that people didn't even have guns yet. At least not everyone.
Fast fighters, fast trigger fingers, and fast kills coming in early on Miramar at least. Mutto is going to be brought back up, so M19 wanted to still play it a little bit more passive. They're not going to go in for the kill. Now, he was a little bit further away as well. So that's sometimes just the way it can go.
Yeah.
But already we're down to 62 players within the first 2 minutes, 40 seconds of the game.
So we also have Magic at the northern side where the police station is. And FTP and M19, they cannot have a lot of loot because they're splitting. It's a really small area between a lot of players. And Magic could come in here and surprise them if they can play together. Or they could get sandwiched in between the two. It's going to be interesting to see how that develops with 3 teams right next to each other.
Poser definitely knows that one of these players is close by. He's chasing them down. He's not looking really on the whole idea of trying to stick to it. He's got his teammates as well. And this is a Pro God Lord who actually is pushed away a little bit. So does he want to try and go for it anytime soon? They're well aware that this could be happening. And what I like already is they're checking all their corners in case there are some sneaky players looking to fight them off early on here from the Storm lineup.
Yep. Pro God Lord's definitely not a guy you would want to push. Just what we've seen from that individual has been crazy. He's been coming out clutch for his team so many times in the last week's games.
Now Hellfire had some shots towards him. FromHell are going to lose a player early on as well.
Yep. I did see on the map that they were split. Whitey, for some reason, went down south, whereas I saw some of his teammates were north of Picado and in between Hacienda. So they were just doing compound, really, really split, getting picked apart.
There's a lot of fights early on, more so than I expected, but I'm guessing that's just because remember where that circle went, a few hillsides in there, even though there's extra space, there's actually positions where you can kind of get a nice advantage here, and it's very clustered in some of these cities, like you're seeing now. BML, Enzo's very low on health, Santos is bleeding out. Rosq goes down and just lets himself die out because Tudor didn't get there in time. Twice is coming across the road. This puts 3 BML players close together. Tudor needs to be very careful because his teammates aren't exactly in fast rotation distance to fight back on this.
These guys are so split up. And I keep mentioning this. We're playing a competitive game. You need teamwork, guys. If you want to be one of the best, you have to play together. And these guys, they're landing in a city, Commissarea. There's 2 or 3 other teams there. There's no way you will have a good time if you don't play together with your team. If you're just going to go one by one, you're just feeding.
Yeah, it's only acceptable, right, if you know you're on your own. If you know...
Yeah. You can see the parachutes. You know there's other people. Play together. And I was just going to be honest. That's probably the reason why Romania and other teams are like so far down the leaderboards.
Yeah.
Is they don't have the fundamentals, right? This is not like min-maxing a strategy. This is like basic textbook stuff.
Yeah. Well, Romania are going to be able to reply a little bit here and find themselves 1 kill onto Enzo. Straight away having him taken out. And that means now for BML, the pressure's on. You've traded 1 player each. How much time do you want to commit to it? There's no real worth in this for either team. Just loot up, go your separate ways, and fight when it's actually required.
Both these teams haven't had the best of performances throughout the tournament, so I almost want to say that we might see them fight it out till the end. But BML here, they were stuck in Commissarea down the valley while Romania was kind of surrounding them, so it might be really, really hard for Bemyloot here to disengage.
I'd also love to see another team try and say, like, oh, I hear what's going on, and just flush them and punish them all. I want to see a DM roll up on them and just be like, this is how we educate you boys.
Oh, to be fair, I don't think DM knows necessarily where everything is going down. Would be cool. But
I'm putting a lot of, like, DM knows everything to
just like, yeah.
To the table here. It's TQ. They've got themselves in a nice spot. This will be plenty of loot for them, but also they've got the vehicles to play off, and vehicles are so important here, especially on Miramar.
I don't like the minibus.
It's pretty slow.
Yeah, and driving the minibus up the hills always makes me
nervous because you're going to get tapped away while you're trying to go 1 mile an hour.
Pee my pants kind of thing. You get really, really nervous, and then, you know, you kind of have to clench a little bit, and then you just hope you don't die when you're like slowly rolling up the hill.
Especially if you need a pee and you're jiggling on them hills. It's like, oh no, where's the nearest lavatory? Well, where's the nearest kill is what Romania says. They managed to get another knockdown.
And BML is split now, so now they won't be able to get the revive in.
Oh, Santos. He's trying to crawl backwards, but look how far away his teammates are, and this is the problem we keep on mentioning. He'll go down. That's another kill on the board. Romania looking for more. Billy's poked out, so they know exactly where he is now. If he wants to have a little pop shot again, it's going to be a world of hurt for him because Tudor is ready and waiting for it. Twice in the house, and this is what I don't understand. Billy's playing a little semi-more aggressive. Yes, he's not poking out every time, but they 100% know where he is. Twice they've got no idea of, but he can't really do too much because that window is facing the other way unless they get up close and personal to Billy. So, like, what are we even trying to achieve? Nade goes up.
Nade goes away.
Billy's just like, oh no. Won't reach him. He'll stay alive. Didn't take any damage, so he's happily tucked away now. At least it's put him into a position where he says, maybe I shouldn't poke out. Maybe this isn't the best idea.
Look who's come to join the fight, the blue zone.
Ah, now you hate to see it. Now, you don't take too much damage on phase 1. You can deal with it. I know you personally, Larson, love to just be able to get there and avoid any blue damage, but you can get away with this in the first couple of phases. Phase 3, phase 4, then yes, you have to move. As Misu is coming from around the side, and Misu has that high ground advantage on Billy, so he's been able to hold this out, and BML are going to have to move before Romania do, which now means Romania do have the advantage in this to kind of take it out if they want to. Just bide their time and finish them off. Nade's come out over towards Rambo. Twice is the one throwing them off, but they're not going to connect. It's just going closer to the wall, and these walls in PUBG are unbreakable.
Yeah, this is a really confusing fight to me. I mean, obviously we can see Tudor here. He just picked up the medkit and an energy drink, but he had nothing before that. And these teams, they've just been having a standoff for so long that nobody is winning this fight. They're literally both losing it, and I keep coming back to it. If you stay in this blue for so long trying to just stare at other people, you don't gain anything. You're losing your position, you're wasting time and not even looting. And it's just, this is what happens when you commit to an early game fight. It just slows you down so much that you don't even have a chance of like making it out and having a good game. You might just like stumble into some luck, but playing on the back foot and being behind, just sloppy, if you ask me. I think that's the best way to describe it.
So Billy meds himself up. They're now going to get in the car and get out of here. Romania instantly get twice down. Billy's just going to run away and say, yep, sorry, mate, that's it. I'm the last player. We need to play some points. Billy's taking a lot of damage regardless. Rambo should have maybe tapped them away rather than just spray it out, mate.
Yeah, but look at Rambo. He's down to 5 bandages, and I doubt that Twice will have a lot for him, so... We'll have to hope that Romania can get a few vehicles here.
Yeah,
because if they have to run towards the zone now, it's not going to be fun. Billy...
And that's
to
it.
The play zone in circle 2.
First team eliminated.
Yeah.
BML, that didn't pay off, boys. It's not the way you want to see it get done. But Romania got frags. They got 1 kill, so I guess 1 placement point's better than nothing. But I mean, not placement point, 1 kill point is better than nothing.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Romania doesn't follow after shortly, right? Because they're going to have to move in really late to the zone. We see BKP here moving in late. But they weren't fighting, they were just tuning up. These guys are probably extremely stacked. They have the vehicles, they have everything they need. They can stop for some more vehicles in the way, and I'm sure they won't need to pick up any loot buddies throughout this game. Just because they've had the big city looted from themselves, stayed a little bit longer. It happens, it can be okay. Also, especially because the circle was really far to the east, so even if they moved early, some of the key positions might already be taken, so you can take a little bit longer to loot up. But
White Pulse. Taking shots to FromHell. Now, White Pulse, if FromHell jump out, I don't want to see you play this badly. We need you guys to start having some good games if you want to jump up into that top 16 and make it to regionals.
It's going to be like, even if they win every game from now on, it's going to be hard for them.
This is what's so smart from FromHell, right? Valak took shots, didn't actually take damage. He just escapes and goes over his whole way, but the rest of his team in the vehicles take a little bit of the way around, but avoid any shots coming towards them. Risk being taken out of it, playing it smart overall. That's just heaven for you to see, isn't it, Larson?
Yep. You see the scout alone in this vehicle, 3 other members in the other one, and he's like, oh, this guy's serious, stay clear from that. And you can just keep cruising, and if the scout dies, it's not the end of the world. You only lose 1, you'll have your 3 players alive. It's the best way to go about it, having the lead vehicle only being 1 person in.
Yeah.
Having him feeding information, what's good to go, what's not good to go. But preferably he won't die, but if anything were to happen, you limit the harm that could be taken to your team or done to your team.
Limiting casualties is always key. As Poker, he's going to go and flip the car for his teammates there. That's the benefit of having a big bus. Sure, you can actually do it with any car, so it doesn't really matter, but a big bus is an easy one to just give it a big shunt.
Yeah. The best thing about the bus is the amount of cover it can give you towards these data circles. So if you find yourself in a big open terrain, having a bus or 2, you create your own compound.
Now, CZ, last time it's the circle. Hard shifts up towards the north. We've got it in a good spot overall for Unique, DM, FTP, Magic, and Kuma. But look at everyone decide, oh, God, look how small this has gotten. Oh, no, there's not a lot of space to fight on. Look at the massive hill on there. We've got so much open space. Cover is going to be hard to find.
I love these circles. Not a lot of compound. You play the terrain. You let go of your vehicles because it's a big open hill you don't really want to be driving on. And then whoever knows how to engage the fights, be confident to take them, they can score a lot of points here.
Did old boy not take the ghillie suit?
I don't know.
Interesting. Motto trying to land a key shot there. Doesn't look like it connected fully. Kitsune poking up. He's playing a bit of peekaboo. And yes, Kitsune, you're a very skilled player, but FTP, they're not too shabby either. They do only have 3 players alive, though. Yash is going to find himself the first one getting knocked down, but he's a little bit further away, so the finish off is probably unlikely. But his teammates aren't directly close to him. So it's going to be a waiting game for them to kind of play it all out here, as he's just slowly crawling back into it.
Unique, not in a big trouble yet, but if they decide to stay here for a long time, they're definitely going to get third party. Or if FTP manages to close in here.
I like this. I like the confidence. There's only 3 of them alive. They are now stuck behind 1 rock where a nade would be very scary. Get this first aid kit off, and if you do want to keep challenging it, apply this pressure to Unique. You've got the chance now when they're in this situation where one's only just been revived up, that you've got the moment to strike. Spray coming in, and Nagy's taking some extra damage here. Old boy trying to provide that cover fire. You can see him from the side, but look how close Motto's going to try and get himself here.
I like what Unique is doing. They know if they stay around, there's a huge potential for third partying, and they could get eliminated if they stay on this open hillside. So I like how they disengaged. They don't need to commit to this fight. If they were to take down FTP here, we could net them a few points, but nothing major. Because I would say these positions that both these teams are playing right now, they're not great. When this circle gets smaller and you have to fit more teams, they're in the open, right? If anybody's playing the north side, they'll just get third-partied and they would have nowhere to hide. So I think it's a good decision for them to back off here.
And this is what we talk about. The difference between teams like Unique compared to others is the smart plays that are being had. But to be fair, I liked how FTP approached that, right?
Yeah.
Solid stuff in getting further forward. But Unique just went, we're going to go back, and now we're going to come back in for the challenge. And now they're going to see FTP in different spots pushed up further, but less cover from FTP this time around.
Yep, FTP playing really, really aggressive. But I think they should... Like, that's the thing, right? If they stay there, I really feel like they're going to get punished for it.
Yeah.
Because it's so open. And the thing with Miramar, you can take fights, you can see people. But when you take those fights, it's so easy to get seen as well. But luckily for them, the people on the north side haven't been super aggressive. And look at that.
Oh my. This circle still includes the hill just towards the left of Junkyard. We've got DM in a vital position. They're going to have huge high ground.
I love their spot. You can see everything. You
It's
can go on
like,
top of
"Hi,
the rock
guys."
and you can see everything.
They can literally take fights with multiple teams who are going to struggle to really fight back against them over and over again here. Avangar just making their way in. M19 on the edge as well. So many teams struggling to get in here. And we've actually got a lot of teams alive. So with the circle we have now and the fact there's such a big hill in this, this now makes this incredibly difficult to fit everyone in. This is not a joke. This is where the firefight's really going to start to begin.
Oh, yeah. And you can see that there's not that many people playing towards the center. So all of these teams will have to fight each other on the edge. On some of the other maps, a lot of compounds in the center. You can easily rotate there. No. Here you need to fight your way in or die trying, basically.
Romania must only have 1 or 2 players left alive because I've just seen them on the kill field a couple of times now, getting knocked down. DM.
Yep.
Loving their position, like you said earlier. They just have all the cover they know. As Avangar found White Pulse, and they're able to make 1 cargo splat. Can they get anything else done? And it's just Rambo left alive for Romania. So yes, you have 4 kills, but you're going to potentially be the next team out. And look where he is. He's just prone. He can hear all these shots going off, and he's saying, please, don't find me. Just leave me alone. I like this spot.
But Avangar, they're going to take the high ground shortly, and they have to check the rock. Luckily for Rambo, they're distracted by White Post to the northeastern side.
Slumpy
They don't
and
know.
Kuma, they've not had a good time
They don't
either.
know.
They've met up with
Maki?
BKB.
Maki? Oh, he knows. He's seen him. He heard him.
And there we go. Romania, they go down in 4 teams. So you may have eliminated 1 team, but you got it right back at you. As M19, they're looking to do this to White Pulse. DM, once again, always taking these shots. And look at the way Matic's moving. I love that. It's a little bit of just pre-fired shots, but carefully strafing left to right, getting the job done.
James is what I would call a gamer.
A true gamer, Matic. Gets frags, gets shots, knows what he's doing, and has put in that time. As White Pulse, long distance here, they cannot catch a break. Multiple fights happening, 44 alive, 12 teams up, and a lot of teams now are going to be down to 1 or 2 players just from these shifts.
Yep. It's so hard. The smaller this circle gets, the less there's to play. Luckily for some of these teams, they still have a tiny bit of terrain to play on, but White Post are not going to be happy if this circle goes anywhere away from them. As Eclipse has to run in the open to team up with Posa, and they're still split 2 by 2.
They've
DM
been
here.
picked apart. That circle's going to do heavy damage. It's going to force them over the hill. Warfarin's looking for it, and he knows exactly where to expect these next 2 players from Welcome to the Lobby to poke up on. Clast and Terry seem to be the only 2 left alive here for White Pulse, and that circle's going to do a lot of damage to you boys, so you need to make your march over this hill and say, okay, we're just going to have to fight whatever's in front of us, because healing this out is not going to be an option.
Yep, and they're surrounded by M19. But M19 actually gets shots from a long distance away from CZ. We don't even see them on the map here. White Pulse, not like this, boys.
Everyone is firing at White Pulse now. Avangar, Maki, look at the spray down. Look at the way he's getting it done. That's a man who knows his recoil. Hate Hope's finished him off though, so he'll get the kill point either way. But there's only one member again who's not currently knocked for M19. This is scary. Rogi's taking a lot of damage and they're thinking, where can we find some cover here? He's just completely prone down, gets the meds off, but he needs his teammates to just go over towards him because he cannot afford to make himself known.
Luckily, for some reason, they're not getting pushed, right? It was a mix of Magic and CZ knocking M19 from afar here. So they're actually recovering now because nobody could commit to the fight.
I respect it from Magic though, because I guess CZ would have shot them the moment they stepped out.
If Magic left, they would have, yeah, exactly. So nobody could really do anything about it. So a little bit unfortunate that they lose armor, meds, etc. But they should be able to recover nicely here. And CZ, they're completely disengaging, focusing now on getting into the next zone.
Oh, sadly though, Rogi's going to be the one that gets knocked down. Thanos has been eliminated. Unique has got a couple of players on low health, but they found TQ, and this time they're winning it out comfortably. Ooh.
Question mark?
Ooh, old boy's like,
question mark?
Molly, go! Maybe someone will try and come behind me.
Is he angry that there's an airdrop over there? He actually has the airdrop, because he has the helmet and vest, so... Maybe he just needed some inventory space for something else.
CZ went splat as well, and then got run over. So they tried to escape, they tried to rotate, and Magic found them regardless. Unique now got hold of this compound, medding themselves back up to full health, and this is a really nice spot for them. Them and DM are winning at the kind of zone plays here.
Oh yeah, and it's the same game and again. It's just Unique, DM, always fragging out, finding themselves towards the late game in a good spot. How often do we say this? Hey, look at DM, they're in a great spot. Hey, look at Avangar.
How is CZ going out to the play zone again? Bro, you were inside it. This is not what you want to see.
Connecting onto TQ and also piling some shots at Unique. That a nade coming in towards TQ.
Ooh. Did blow. No one else blew up with it though. Avangar there making it work. Oh, it's the car, yeah.
But I believe it was the knocked person, so just securing the kill there, also very important.
I was looking for the nade symbol, and actually it was just the cars blowing up around them which caused the deaths. Storm needs to be careful here, though. Magic starts to come onto it. Pro God Lord finds himself knocked down, and that looks like them eliminated.
Storm go down to 9th position, and we're looking at the CZ down to 1 member. Magic not looking too healthy neither. DM, 4 alive. Avangar, 4 alive. Unique, also alive. Wait.
Oh, DM.
Dude, that hillside they run is so good for defending it as well. They're so hard to approach and kill off.
How's the run down for them on the west if it shifts away from them?
It's fine.
So they can still comfortably get down. So they're loving life right now. No teams will even have a chance to get up and close to them either. Circle damage is going to be very strong. And a lot of these teams now are going to struggle to push forward. And DM can just play this long distance game and say, hey, hi guys, we're up here. We're just going to keep making your life really hard.
It was actually a good point you just said, the rundown, right? If they have to go somewhere really far in the next zone, it could be hard for them to rotate away.
Yeah, that's what I'm
so
worried
they do need to make the most of it in this zone. But if they can clean up the north side, they will have the entirety, no, the south side, sorry. If they can clean up the south side, they'll have the entirety at the south to work with. But if
Gonzo.
It's going to be the problem.
There we go. Ray's gone. That looks like Magic's gone. They got 1 player left alive, potentially. Still 7 teams in it, regardless. BKB coming a little bit late to the party, but in vehicles, and everyone starts to light them up. Valak, he's going to be one getting knocked down. It's DM Matic getting it done. Unique, though, having a bit of a challenge here, but welcome to the lobby are getting involved. And this is more than just third parties. This is 4th and 5th parties. It's just welcome to the party, and who wants some at this point?
DM wants it all. But BKB is getting a piece of the pie as they find down Avangar here. Taking them out. 5 teams remaining. Unique, they're bruised and battered. DM's looking strong. They're down to 3 though. And no, that's Kitsun. Never mind. Yasha here will be finding the rest. We'll have to see if DM can cancel that. Who else? What's happening? I believe we have BKB. No, yeah, BKB. Welcome to the lobby. Unique and DM. As BKB, they gets blown up. They are still alive though. We still have 4 remaining teams. But look at this. Unique, they're caught between DM and welcome to the lobby. BKB manages to sneak in on the southern side, I believe. So they're okay for now. But
So once again, it's just DM, DM, DM. Joey's able to reply at least with one knock, but he won't ever get the finish off here unless he can get a well-placed nade, maybe up high, and get a good angle on it. But either way, DM know exactly what's going on. They're understanding his position. Zet's able to reply as well onto Unique this time. He heard that tapping away.
Joey? Did he just nade himself almost?
Oh boy, oh
It's
my.
a smoke, it's a smoke.
It's so difficult to see. But either way here, Unique in a bit of a bad spot. Split up, but in the circle. But the next one, they're waiting on the shift. They're waiting to see where it goes. Old Boy finds himself going up against Chris again. And it could be Unique and DM going head-to-head once again on this. Because I think it's only Joey left in a good position now for BKB.
Yep. I believe Joey's even the last one alive. So we'll have to see if Welcome to the Lobby can flush out Unique here.
Now, Welcome to the Lobby, all the way down the bottom. Couple players low on health, and they're not medding up just yet. I'm hoping they've got meds. It would be a real shame if they've run out of meds at this point, because they don't seem to be challenging anything. Unique have got a crazy 2-2 split on, which means Nagy and Oldboy can play the long distance game, while they hope Kitsune and Yasha can sneak around or sneak in some way. Circle's going to come in. The circle will be popping next to somewhere else. Well, the circle about to come in, sorry, in 5 seconds. And where the circle pops next is really going to solidify how this goes.
DM finding knock after knock after knock. Like you mentioned, this circle will be coming in now, so they will be able to turn a lot of these knocks into kills. And a lot of these teams don't have a lot to work with, as we can see. DM, they're finally raining downhill from above.
Has he got any nades left?
He doesn't
Jesus,
need
they're
them yet.
both behind it.
Oh, he spots him. But he's aware that if he shoots Kitsune right now, he might get third-partied, right?
Yeah.
So he's just taking his time, playing so cleanly. Saying, all right, if we just go welcome to the lobby, the last few Unique members.
Look at the spray down. Carly, you are on point, my man. Maddox found one as well. Now it's just DM versus Unique.
Matic already firing shots down to the last two Unique members.
He's going to jump down, isn't he? Yes, he is. Matic, you brave, brave man. He's like, okay, I'll play a bit of parkour. I'll jump down. I'll get involved in these fights. Trying to get a well-placed nade off there. It's actually not bad in how it propelled itself, but it goes a little bit to the side. And the next one, though, it's close to it. He's just underhand throwing them.
That's smoke. Aw.
Disappointment. Maybe he's trying to make them think they're safe and then just jump down onto them. DM can wait this out all day, though.
Yep. That they could. I would like to see if DM said, all right, we're going to try to take some guys down from the cliff, and then we'll distract them with the guys above, and then the guys from below will push, you know, like do some synergy and convert on them at the same time, right? You could send down 2 or 3, and then the guy above is just going to make a lot of noise, so they wonder they'll be approaching. But right now, DM, they're just all sitting on the rug, which I'm not really pleased with. I would like to see some kind of game plan put into action.
Especially as this is final circle, and we know it's going to go dead center, right? So that's no matter what happens, it goes dead center, which means they do have to move off the hill. So the question is Yasha and Kitsune waiting for them to jump down and trying that they can get some crazy spray down and pick 2 up each? It's very hard, but I respect the understanding that they might be able to pull it off.
But I mean, obviously we know what we can see on the screen. DM might not have the exact same information, knowing that they're just 2 right there, and if they went on like the south or the north side, it would be fine. But
I like
this is the play. Give one guy all your meds, make him able to tank up the zone, and then the other 3 members can make a play to try and, you know, do some damage onto Unique so they can heal or win the healing wall.
And the player is coming in. This is what it all comes down to. Matic looking to jump down. He finds himself the first knock onto Yasha. He's the heavy hitter for DM. Looking to get it done. They all go at the same time. Unique's under pressure, and Unique will not win this one out. It's DM all the way, and that was 13 kills for them to end it with.
They're such a pleasure to watch, right? And this is what I wanted. I wanted to have some kind of plan. The plan was, all right, we have a backup plan, and we can always heal, but then you just have Mikey. He does his thing. Gets the knock and he's like, jump, jump, jump.
And it was perfect timing as well. You watched them all do it. DM leading the charge. A good job overall from these guys. And I got to say, when it comes down to it, DM and Unique, straight off the bat, both games, first and second, swapping it around. This looks like a crazy day from both of them. And the thing is, for Unique now, this looks like a one where they can say, okay, we actually can solidify ourselves in a good spot. Obviously, DMStorm took the win in the first game, which was very strong from them. This time around, didn't have as good a chance. But you got to, just Unique and DM99 are the ones who remain the most consistent here time and time again.
One team to point out is welcome to the lobby. They did
Yeah.
get a 3rd place and 1 kill, so I believe that's 20 points. They've been a team that has been struggling in like the last 6 games almost. And they're finally showing a bit signs of life. So if they can have 2 or 3 more games where they get in the top 5, top 3 even,
Oh, yes.
then they might make it through. They might just say, all right, we solidified our spot. We can relax now. But they've just had so many bad games in a row.
Yeah.
We never thought we would say, if they don't show up now, they might actually go out.
It's a crazy way to look at it. It's a crazy way to think at times. We've got 2 more games of Erangel coming up, right?
Yep.
And when it comes down to Erangel, that's where we get the more, I wouldn't say like natural, but it's more the understanding that everyone has their spots. But now I want to see, is there any teams that are going to take some additional risks here or change things up to ensure that they can maybe put some new practice to work? Because it's getting to the point now where you're looking at some teams who are definitely not going to have a chance of making it.
I mean, I talked so much about it last week. Is White Ball's a huge disappointment for me. They're just not showing up, right? And I don't know if they're changing anything. Maybe just like, yeah, we just want to do solo start performances.
Maybe they're hoping to get picked up by a team who's made it to the regionals. You never know. Rosters could change potentially when it comes down to it. But the consistent teams are making it through time and time again here, Larson.
Yep.
And one thing I definitely would look at, right, is when we're looking at how that just played out there at the end, DM took center position. As soon as they had the opportunity, they said, we're going to go for the hillside. And they were just the first to rotate to it. Many other teams could have done it as well. It's not limited to DM. It's just they already, in an instant, say, cool, that's ours. Now, they walk away with 43 points on top of their, what, like 211 they had before? This is going to be nuts. Team Unique, 27, not going to complain about that. Avangar's up there. BuzzKillBros, welcome to the lobby. Magic. And CZ, oh my God, it happens. Finally, our bottom place team getting 14 points, and I'm not just memeing them. I'm just seriously happy that we saw them change things up on Vikendi and how they approached it. Yeah. Clearly something different worked here on Miramar. FromHell still within it as well. And they won't be going to hell anytime soon because they had a good amount of points across it.
Yep. So you asked me what a team's going to change going into Erangel.
Yeah.
I think that TQ, Team Queso, they're going to go far away from Unique.
Yeah. I would not fight Unique. That's not going to happen this time. Definitely not.
If anyone missed what happened, we had a mishap where we started an Erangel game, and Team Queso, they got absolutely destroyed by Team Unique. As they're doing their thing.
259 points for DM. They are starting to really pull away from everyone else. M19 still within it, just crossed over the 200 line. Avangar not far away. Unique ever so slowly stepping up onto it. Yep. And remember, some of the other teams in here, guys, if you haven't noticed the names, for example, Rosq, I kept calling them Rosq, and they tweeted at us and they were like, we're called Rosq. I was like, sorry guys, appreciate it, thanks for the update. Rosq there in 7th place. They'll be playing tomorrow. So they're looking at this and thinking, do you know what? We don't have that many points to climb still.
And yeah, that's probably the teams that impressed us the most from the group stages, even more than FromHell to some extent. Because they were very inconsistent. They had, I would say mainly on the Erangel, they were really good. But on Vikendi, Miramar, Sanok, they were very lackluster. But here, they've clearly worked on their teamwork and how to approach the other maps. And that, like, they came out of nowhere.
Well, guys, it is time for us to go to a break. But before that, you guys can visit clubopen.pubgmobile.com. And if you want to look there, you get the standings, you get the schedule, you get to see what maps come up next, what maps come up against the next few days as well, and how maybe some of your favorite teams, not just within Europe, but other regions as well, are doing. And also, you can't forget, subscribe. Hit that big red button. Subscribe to YouTube channel because you get all the VODs, you get all the highlights. And the highlights, by the way, I love that they're putting the highlights up because we get some awesome highlights in this. Go back and look to last week, the semi-final week 1, and look for Pro God Lord in the highlights. This man was a monster when it came down to it. It's break time for us. Erangel's coming up. I hope you guys are enjoying the show as always, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Zombie, Darkest Night. The newest mode in the zombie universe is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Play PUBG Mobile for free.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Play PUBG Mobile for free.
We're back, and it's time to go in with a bang. And I don't just talk about the grenades that seem to be used oh so often to flush players out of positions. My name is James Banks, and I've got Matthias Larsson, as always, to give you this good stuff. We've got Erangel coming all the way out for you guys, and Erangel is the last 2 games of today. This is how it all goes down. We saw on Vikendi DMStorm walk away with the win. It got very close, literally right to the wire against DM19 for them, and they was just able to tap it out. When we come to Miramar, DM took it in style. They were actually playing incredible. It's beautiful to watch, Larson. We love how it goes down, and Erangel is where they have their stomping ground.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they're going to change up anything now because they 100% made it through.
Yeah.
And they have, what, 6 more games to play. There's no way they're not qualified after getting a 2nd place with 10 kills and now a win with what I believe was 13?
Yeah, 13 frags, yeah.
Yep.
And they're up at 259 points. If I was them, I'd just be like, let's frag out, baby. Like, just go. I'd actually give Matic a task. Matic,
yeah?
We want you to have the most frags, but now we're going to make you solo drop somewhere and see what you can do. You'd never advise this to anyone else, but just given their position, it may be something they go for, as we've got a plane that's going to be going right down from the southeast all the way up to the northwest, and it's a nice split plane once again when it comes to Erangel, which means teams that will be able to happily get to military base. They can even get away over towards Ferry Pier and Primorsk, all the way up to Zaki. Everything's covered off. It's maybe only Kameshki and Stalba that is a bit harder to get to if you want to grab them vehicles and try it from there.
So Kuma, they usually land in Multa. They're not in Multa.
Oh, yeah.
Unique, they've been going in over, but Magic's second, but they've seen there's nobody at the airfield, so they're taking the military zone. TQ, they stay away from Severny, even though Unique is not hitting that way. They're looting down by the south coast.
It'd be so funny if TQ and Unique end up meeting again, and TQ are just like, no, like, why? Like, what is this?
But where's Kuma, right? I've only ever seen them land in Multa City itself, but...
They're going up to Georgopol or even Zaki. Interesting. One thing I want to point out, by the way, Avangar, drop Milta power. Yeah. Avangar PC, drop Milta power. Coincidence? I think not.
Wait, they do?
Yeah.
Where do FaZe Clan land then?
I don't know.
They land Milta power.
I don't commentate FaZe Clan. I'm on Contenders,
man. Right.
Thanks for rubbing it in. Appreciate that, Larson.
Sorry, I'm only used to the Pro League.
Getting wrecked by my co-commentator.
So sorry, when I played, which is about 6-7 months ago, Avangar, they were a different team than they are now. And around that time, they were typically landing in North Georgiapol. So.
Oh, M19, you're putting FromHell back to where they belong. You're pushing them into the ground, being the angels of death, getting them in your grasp. You found yourself one to start this thing off with. But how much more can you do? As CZ, they will be the team that find themselves going off to Severny this time around. Magic, they've got Novo to themselves, but they've got to be careful of Unique nearby. If Magic rotate too early, Unique could find them on that kind of side of things. Kuma, all the way up in Zaki in the end. Georgiapol's very clustered, but there is enough room in a city like that to get it done. No real problems there. M19 are living the dream with an early opening kill, because we speak about them not getting many kills early on, normally kind of just getting good placement points again and again, just by keeping players alive or keeping one player alive and snaking it up.
Storm, they're alone in Pachinki now. We did have our quote-unquote scrim game earlier on. We started, unfortunately, on Erangel and it would cancel. But I believe that Storm, they were fighting another team here, right? And I've seen that white post, depending on the airplane. It was a good Yasnaya plane there. They're now in North Georgiapol because it was a good Georgiapol plane. So they changed it up between the 2 cities on the north, practice different early games, which is cool to see. I like when people can adapt to the airplanes and not have to spend a couple of minutes early on to go to a city that they like landing in, but also comfortable with doing other stuff. And when you go to North Georgiapol, more often than not, you'll be able to share it with at least one other team without having to fight them.
It's always, for me, when you look at it, right, when you go for Georgiapol, it's like, where's that rotation going to come in? Depending on how the circle shifts, obviously they've got a nice circle for it, so it's not too bad. It's whether that fight kicks off a little bit earlier and before who's going to wait it out. Yeah. Because you can be in the spot where you say, all right, I'll just sit here, I'll tank some damage for a bit, and I'll make you have the problem when it comes to moving around.
But we can see here, Romania, they're chilling on the western side, whereas White Post, they were all the way in the east. So they have a bit of a gap, just depending on who's going to be super greedy and stay here for 10 minutes and loot. Or if some of them want to move out earlier and avoid the fight.
Now, Romania do need to ensure they don't allow what happened to them in the previous game happen in any more games. Not like they're like terribly doing bad, but it's one where you say little mistakes like that could be the costly decision at the end. Because when it comes to the final day, I guarantee we'll have a few teams that are just a few points away. Yeah. And we're getting down to that madness when I was trying to do quick maths all day long, and I'm like getting out calculators and all sorts.
Okay, to be fair, if we were really good at math, I don't think we'd be casting. We can talk about video games all day, but doing the maths in our heads, no, I'm not qualified for that.
I'm definitely not doing maths. Maths is like a super weak point for me. Google is life. Let's go.
Also the thing is, if we try to do math for 16 teams at the same time and then maybe say, hey, these guys made it through, we might bait people. Baiting people is not nice. If we say something, but then the people that actually do the math are like, no, these guys are wrong. That'd be unfortunate.
I'll give one of them things. I think, maybe, could be. Keywords being used there as Unique look to already strive forward in looking at how this is going to work for getting across this bridge. BKB are loving their spot right now. That's just ridiculous to have all that to themselves. DM, once again, they play it smart. They move out a little bit earlier. There's PRZ here. He's going to go in for some little bit of a spray down, but it's long range. There's not much he can do, but he's at least got the information that there are teams starting to make their way across the field and say, they want to get there early. When I see teams going for these pushes early, right, at least it does tell me that, okay, they've gone early, it's going to be slightly more contested. And then it gives me an understanding that maybe I should have been faster for this next one when we come back around to this, when we get another Erangel game come into play.
I mean, I can speak from personal experiences. It depends on the airplane and where the circle is, right? We talked about this. If you land in South Georgia Pole and it's a military-based circle, even if you leave after looting for 1 minute, you'll have barely any loot. But by the time you get to the bridge, people that have looted up for a long time can still get there before you. So like some of these rotations kind of just depends on just how the airplane was, how the circle is. And a lot of things that is really cool about PUBG and PUBG Mobile is it's not just black and white. You have to adapt to so many different circumstances.
And that is what it's all about, these kind of circumstances. Welcome to the lobby, already pressuring FTP here.
Oh, no.
Clips trying to play it smart. He uses the gap in the wall and he gets himself the first knock. Mutto's trying to spray it out from the window, but he's just trying to find a good angle to fire off from. Eclipse has been able to do so much here. That's 2 knocked players already for this man, and he is just darting around, able to do so much, and so much of a problem here for FTP. They cannot handle it, and they got the rest of Welcome to the Lobby now getting involved. Cut by Color, trying to look for it. Eclipse's head pokes up. He may not land the headshot, but he lands the knock, and this is ideal for him. Eclipse now trying to avoid the flames on the floor, and he cannot afford to be flushed out. Poser working his way around, but how is Poser going to deal with this? Jonathan on the other side of it as well. They've got the cover, but this is going to allow for all the revives, and that was a beautiful nade to come up. A few more of them is exactly what they need, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Jonathan's like, have a nade, have another nade, and have another nade. Wait for it. That's a smoke.
Aw.
Jonathan. I feel like I'm saying John Wick stuff there.
Oh,
there we go. That's how you get it done. And this is where FTP, you may all be in a breach compound at the moment where you are starting to struggle, but you've got players from Welcome to the Lobby who have no problem with taking it directly to you now, and they are making this happen. They're going to flush out one player, now they'll work their way, use the communication, and they have to go as a unit.
Yeah, but it's really, really difficult to push into this mode. More often than not, it's just random who can get out of this fight when you're just spraying and praying, hoping for the best. Going up these stairs is extremely difficult, but having so many people locked up here, if you have just a few nades, you're gonna get easy knocks, as we see Pasta connecting the first one, and Gomlo connecting the second one, and now it's Spurk left.
Brilliant there, saves his teammate as well. Welcome to the Lobby, played that to perfection. Keeping one player outside to make sure they didn't jump out the windows or anything crazy like that. Then they threw the grenades up. Poser managed to get a double knock in there. They'd already got the kill earlier on from the guy on the second level. This, Larson, this is what it's all about.
Where is DM and White Post? Because I've been seeing them go back and forth. This looks like they're dead center right now. As White Post, they managed to knock and finish 2 from DM. And DM finally getting a bit of breathing room as they get the initial knock here, but it's still a 2 versus 3.
This is huge from White Pulse. If you could take DM down, who, like we said, they're the #1 team at the moment and the one that impresses us the most. Still plenty of time within this game as well, where I'd quite just like to see what's going back on with that fight. I'm not really caring about the circle as of now. I can see people rotating, but I want to see what's going to happen to DM.
Oh yeah, because they were committed to the fight. It's still a compound. It's pretty central in the zone.
Please.
So that should be an ongoing engagement.
Give me DM! Nope, that's the map.
We'll get it, I believe. We do see in the map that there's still shots going back and forth. Might not be transmitting as much, since White Pulse, they obviously want to show respect to DM. And DM, they're playing passive because they're down to just the 2 guys. And you know, James is not happy.
I just want to know what's going on with that fight.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally the most important thing that's going on right now. DM being pressured by White Pulse. White Pulse
There
with
we
the
go.
kills. There we go. People are awake. People are listening to my voice, and we are going to see what White Pulse can do. Utility's got to be used here. They've got to play it smart. Keeping Frost on the edge is the best decision they can make here and push 3 up. 3v2. But they're 2 very capable players here. We speak about the individual level of DM over and over again. This is why White Pulse are going to take this so carefully. As the nade goes up, Nukas takes a little bit more damage here. It's going to be harder for him to work this with. Carly's just looking around.
Okay, let's don't go alone. Please play as a team, White Pulse.
This is
These guys goes 1 by 1 by 1. I want to see them take this fight as a team, go together. Come on, guys.
He's
Everybody
right on the
run up
edge.
the stairs at the same time, not 1 by 1. Okay, let's reload on the
Communicate.
stairs. Say, boys, let's go. All of us. We have a huge advantage.
Seems to want to use a nade there as well. Nade goes up. No one's going to go down. Flash actually is the one that comes in, so he's going to at least try and keep him a little bit busy. Terry's found his way outside, and White Pulse there. This is my problem with White Pulse. They've lost the confidence.
They just need to play as a team. So
my
disappointing
God.
to watch. What we do see as well at the bottom right is Avangar and M19 are trading back and forth, but it seems like Avangar is more grouped up together and they're able to get ahead of this trade just to their position right now.
This is White Pulse playing too scared. Too many
Okay,
players out.
again,
The
he's
nade
alone.
goes up. Class is able to get the first
There we
knock
go.
on.
Go together,
Now
guys.
they go. Now it's time to flush him. Carly round the corner. Shots coming out towards him. He's taking a ton of damage and he will go down. And that's DM eliminated. White Pulse with all the 4 kills. In the end, they played it well. I just felt on multiple occasions they weren't sure what they wanted to do. And there was obviously bad communication there because some players backed away. Some players still wanted to go in for it. They left Kalas in the house on his own. If he was on his own at that point and DM pushed down, there's no way he's winning that.
So, I mean, that wasn't even a team play thingy, right? They were waiting for Kalas to do something. If he had lost that, then he'd probably just have been flushed because the team wasn't that close. So they needed to have an individual performance before they could do anything. They need to just rely on teamwork. When you have a 4v2, you should be able to go in. Yeah, you might get a knock player too, but you'll win that fight if you trust in your team.
Now, one thing I love here is that DM have gone down. This now opens up so many more opportunities for other teams to say, oh, we can survive. We can go a little bit further here. Teams like Unique, teams like Welcome to the Lobby, for example, teams like Avangar, M19, they're all going to be sat there saying, there's a little bit more of a glimmering hope for us now.
Yeah.
We hard shift down south across Ferry Pier. Remember, we've not gone on to the next phases yet, so water can still be included within it. And that's going to make it hard for some of these teams, but certainly not hard for Unique there. They've got Quarry under their control. As FromHell now under pressure from Welcome to the Lobby. Now, they lost 1 player very early on, the first player of the game. Lots of nades coming out there being used over on the observatory.
Yep. I want to see if Welcome to the Lobby think it's worth pushing here for just a kill point. They have taken out their vehicles. We did see the circle swing south, so I believe where these guys are fighting right now, it's not even in the zone. So maybe they're happy with saying, all right, we can take your vehicles, maybe we can cut you off further down towards the south, and then they'll take them out when they're running on foot. But committing to this so far outside the zone doesn't make any sense to me, and I hope they disengage. It does look like Welcome to the Lobby is running away after blowing up all the vehicles. On the west coast, we see Kuma. They're trying to get into the zone. They're just ahead of Romania right now. But they have such a far way into the zone. One thing I noticed was Unique. They're extremely split all across the quarry. That's not something I like to see. When you split, I want to see at least 2-2 splits. But they're really wide split.
Kuma's run into Romania as well. They're going to suffer a couple of knocks. White Pulse now. Avangar has got involved against them, so they're meeting 2 tough teams very early on. You dealt with DM. Can you match up against Avangar as CZ? spraying away at some of the rotating teams. They're comfortably in the circle, but they've got Unique just on the ridge there on top of Quarry saying, hey, you want to poke out, boys? Anytime soon, we could do some extra frags here. And CZ, this is the real test of your skills. White Pulse again. Now this is TQ getting involved. They can't catch a break.
Oh, no. At least some of the Unique members are teaming up, so they're not all alone. But Naki here, he's so far split away from his team.
Apo, move. Move, Apo. What? I've got no understanding of this world anymore. Apo is just... Are you serious? He must have lagged out, surely. You don't not move when you're knocked. Unless you have that literal no idea that you have where they are. Now, Serhat's gone down next as well. This is just not looking good. Unique, you give them an inch. They're going to take every single second of it. Centimeter of it.
Yeah. I'll give just an FK in the open. That works too.
Poker's going to come in and try res him up. At least Serhat's moving around here. But none of them want to fall victim to more knocks and kills coming into them. But CZ, boys, this is not what... You had a game where you got 14 points yesterday. There's a chance. Don't give up. Plenty more games to come as Romania back under pressure. Welcome to the lobby. 2 games in a row now, stepping things up to at least an acceptable level.
Oh, yeah.
We get another shift up this time. Away from water, up towards bang on Quarry. Unique, a loving life. Kuma's still got 2 players that are currently split within it. More shots being made, and welcome to the lobby. High ground advantage. This is so hard for Romania, but Glumgod, he's being picked apart from the side, playing a long distance game here, so they do need to be careful that he doesn't go down because his teammates will take him a while to get up there.
Yep, luckily for them, right now, Naki is the Unique player looking towards welcome to the lobby, and he's alone, so you don't want to commit to the fight too much, giving them some space to battle it out with Romania here. But we can see that Hoba and Tudor, they're just running away. They want to survive. Even though, where they're going now, towards the northern side, they're not in. They need to go up and pass Unique.
It's not going to be easy no matter what team you run into, whatever team you face. 14 teams alive. We're at phase 4. The circle is quite an interesting one because it covers most of Quarry in this. Pro God Lord back to his old tricks again. This time he's going to find Yasha. Unique old boy spraying long distance. He's saying, I'm going to be able to try and turn this around. But 2 of his teammates are low on health. Yasha's actually been knocked, so Kitsune's the one nearly going down as well. TQ having a battle with Avangar. So that's Avangar, TQ, and White Pulse who are all having back and forth. And M19's got involved. This is where it all goes down, and this is where it goes wrong for a lot of teams as well. Gonzo completely taken down.
Oh, no.
Pro Lord got hurt. Nades coming as well. Why did we go away from that?
That's FromHell out. They haven't had the best of days today.
FromHell struggling.
Welcome to the lobby. They're in cleanup duty right now. They might have heard that Unique and them were under pressure because they know they have more ground to play with. They want to clean up their northern side so they have more freedom to play from as well.
Look at the nades still coming out. Kitsune has to be careful.
Oh, so close actually. Okay. That's a smoke. I was hoping it was a nade.
What's with the smokes being thrown down to benefit other players to give them cover?
Yeah.
This has been the new meta today. Have a smoke. I'll let you live longer. Then I'll frag you out. Kitsune back down again though, 2nd time being knocked. Judo's going to find himself instantly taken out. CZ actually still standing strong after that blunder from Apo.
Yeah, they got saved by Storm's just push onto Unique.
Yeah,
and
kept
they had
them
a
busy.
free entry. But that's also crazy. Storm, they must have just smashed the hill with some vehicles. And, you know, when you play a split as Unique does, you can get caught off guard. And their team wasn't ready to back them up. Well, there's no way they could because they were split in so many angles. That's why Unique, I believe, lost the player and now lost control over all the high ground on that hillside.
Welcome to the lobby. Still in a nice spot. Tabsy, sorry, he needs to make sure he's moving around. This circle is coming in. It does a lot of damage. You're right on the edge, but as soon as you poke out, welcome to the lobby, going to know about it. So on this next circle pops, he's got a dream that it just lands on top of him here. And Kuma are doing a 1-1 split again, right? We saw both of them.
You know Kuma, they're not fighting, they're just going to hide until the very end. If they can sit somewhere and don't have to move, yep. Alright, Unique actually doesn't lose anyone, and if you manage to reposition, regroup up, take a deeper spot into the zone with all of their members. So they're looking actually pretty good here.
Straight away firing onto Storm though. So Oh my, Tabsy, you aren't moving, are you? Look, how Slumpy is miles away from him. Slumpy's got to go like so. Oh, that's a hard rotation for Slumpy, but Kuma will at least keep one player alive. If Slumpy can stay alive, that's going to be very interesting if they take 2 different spots in the circle and manage to prone it up for potential points. Because even if you find one, you think, oh yeah, you've got it, and then he's still hanging in there.
So all of these teams in Inquiry are loving life. You'll have all the high ground to work with, just denying people entry. So I hope that teams like Unique, welcome to the lobby, they just look towards the south, make sure nobody comes anywhere close. And then it's looking really good for these guys. Again, welcome to the lobby. They've had some really rough games. But this game, they're lighting him up. I just constantly see Posa.
Tabsy got knocked.
Oh no.
They found him in his hut. He knew he had to move just an inch and this inch was too far. They think his other teammate potentially could be in there, but it's not the case. He's on the other side of the map.
White Balls also. They're alive. They have all 4 members. They can do this. They did. Wait, do they have all? Yeah, they do. They didn't lose anyone to DM earlier on.
No.
M19 down to 2, just sending it in, hoping they can stay safe. So far, so good for them. Magic, they're all the way back. They have to go through so many teams to even have a chance of making it in. Fear here, taking shots. Actually managed to connect onto RPZ here. RPZ saw him beforehand, so he must have choked or whiffed. Big mistake.
Look at him go. TQ under pressure. A lot of pain coming their way. M19 still. Only with 2 players left alive, we'll be able to do a lot of damage there. Unique again, making it hard for him though, regardless. And they look at the high ground, just got the nade. Taking his time, underhand all the way.
Easy clap? Never mind.
Now Unique, they've had this spot for so long. They've been able to take fights with what? 4, 5 different teams here?
Yep.
Twice, my boy. He's got the VSS. He's able to find himself a kill, able to pick up another point to play with here, as Thanos was the only one left alive, and he's quickly ended, which means M19 are out, and out in 10th place. 11th place even. Can't do maths.
Storm here, they lost 2 members going down the quarry side here, getting shot by so many teams. They were looking really good not too long ago, but now find themselves pinned.
Oh, old boy taking a lot of damage, needs to find himself that additional cover.
Actually, there doesn't have a helmet. He needs to be careful. He's also a little bit spread out from his team, just holding the sides for them.
I don't think they've realized that the 2 players they were fighting against from M19 below as well were taken out yet, so he's still checking it just a little bit. They're so central to this, and the next circle's going to pop. And my, oh my, that's 2 hard shifts to the western side, which this is helping a lot of teams here.
Oh yeah, welcome to the lobby. They
Oh,
gotta
Kuma's
be so
gone.
happy.
Kuma's gone in 9th, just outside of it all. Nagy still able to do some damage for Unique, and this time he's going to find Avangar.
Oh yeah. And I'm surprised that welcome to the lobby, they've had the zone for so long. They could have taken a little bit more control over it. Instead, they're playing really conservative, staying far back, and actually letting some of these teams here, you know, just run up on them. And this could backfire heavily. If they don't take control over the high ground there, they could be sandwiched and then just like lose a really good and easy position that they should be able to take.
Thing is already, right, Unique were just pushed outside of the circle with the new zone popping, and they've already made their way back in. They've got the huge up high ground advantage, but they could easily challenge Welcome to the Lobby, like you were just saying there. Welcome to the Lobby have taken this far too slow. You can see it's from BML's point of view as well. Getting all the way up is going to be difficult without being spotted, and Twice is going to be the front runner to say, guys, it's okay to come now and watch us trying to do this as a team. But they keep hearing shots and they keep getting scared.
No.
As White Pulse finally getting shot down. And this looks like they could be going out of it. That's exactly how it plays out. Unique found them. Unique does all the damage. And 6 teams remain.
My God, it's so quiet.
I love
M16 with a suppressor. Gumglad here. Has been shooting so much that he's literally out of ammo. After reloading a gun, he could only chamber 26 bullets into the magazine. That's not what you want to see. And from what I could see, he had 2 5.56 guns, so he would have to say, hey guys, I need some ammunition, please.
And they've got 15 kills, so they've been getting it done. This is
yeah.
insane. But the problem there, like you were saying, is because they've been getting these kills from the high ground, a lot of the teams they've been facing haven't been close enough for them to loot off, which means he can't have the bullets to work with. Now, Unique, how are they going to play this? 7 kills already, 2 players in a vehicle. They've tried to make their way up. They've been put under pressure. Mackie, the solo player left alive for Avangar, now having to run his way in. He's looking for a hope and a dream to play off of here, and he's going to have to go all the way. He's got no meds either. Unique have gone all the way down to say, hey, look, we'll go fight him. We don't care about what he's going to do. And Mackie is just biding his time, hoping that someone might try and challenge him for a potential additional kill point. But he's got nothing to work with here. Just the painkillers kicking in.
So Nagi, he jumped down from the high ground to try and get a res. And that could have hurt them, but he gets the better of it. Avangar gets eliminated in 6th position. We're down to the top 5 here. Unique, though, they're split now. And I don't know if they have a way of getting back up. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they're not surrounded by so much blue.
So much damage. Brilliant work there from Glumgod. And no one knows where he is. His teammates then come in to shoot as well. The damage is done. The kills are on the board. 17 right now. If they could get 17 and a win. Oh.
But he has no ammo. He can't shoot anymore. He's still not reloading M16.
Someone share me some ammo.
Bosa here holding, I believe, BKB or Bemyloot at bay. But deciding, all right, the circle's really small, it's time for us to regroup. And we saw the Unique members, they jumped down. They're now flanking onto Bemyloot, but they're really, really split here.
Ooh, Eclipse finds himself getting knocked down. He needs a teammate close by. Nagy's going to go in for the finish off against Twice. He's trying to dance around the tree, but you can play this game all day. Unique have done it over and over again, and they will get on to finish them down.
Yep, we can see that. Welcome to the lobby. They're getting punished by multiple different teams. Unique here. I like what they're doing, right? They're just securing the spot.
Yeah.
We got shot.
Now he's looked at it and said, this was less than ideal. We did not expect these players to be here. BML still able to fight it off with one player, though. Oh, they've got 2 Billies in there as well.
Just
this could work
left.
out. Welcome to the lobby. They've been kill hungry. They've been getting the kills, but could they have overextended themselves? Plenty coming up on the scoreboard. Unique under pressure as well. BML putting in a lot of work here, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
I want to see just how many kills Bosa has this game. He's been fragging out like a madman.
10 up on Unique. 18 there for Welcome to the Lobby. Poser. It's just him and Glumgod, and Glumgod's bleeding out. Poser's looking for more. He's got 8 kills in total there. You mentioned it. 8 kills out of 18. That's not a bad job, and he's got himself into top 3. And now if he lets this fight between Old Boy and Storm go off, if Old Boy could knock one, he could potentially go in for the win. This isn't unheard of. He's got to be careful of the other Unique players, though. Starting to make their way up, they might spot him, even if he is prone with this kind of position.
Yeah, these 2 remaining Unique players could catch people off ground, taking control of the high ground. You see Posa, he still has to move down into the arms of Storm, but he might not even get the chance.
I don't think Nagy has any meds either. He's just got the pain. Oh, he has got meds. What are you doing?
Spanish just, you don't want to waste time. He wants kills, James. 5 kills.
Hungry for the kills, but wouldn't make him pay the price. Nagy slowly proning his way forward, gets himself inside the circle, now has to play it smart. Old Boy going right to the edge of it all. And we're going to probably go down to the final moments of this, because no one is looking to move, especially not Storm, who know how pivotal their position is. Nade's going out. Yash is going to try and deliver one.
I kind of want Nagi to start using his bandages.
Yep. I'm really wanting him to. He's prone. No one's challenging you. Just do it. Yeah. Has he forgotten?
No, I think he just really wants some kills. That's a really good nade, though. It's so close to connecting, but you can't take line of sight. I think it did a little bit of damage onto Hellfire. And in just about 17 seconds, this blue will push out people. But it does look like, was that Hellfire who was, yeah, it's Hellfire.
Cabela's might be spotted here.
Kinda close to the zone.
Yash can work around the side. And, oh, there's 2 teams remaining. So when did Welcome to the Lobby go out?
They got shot when Nagi and them came up from above.
Okay. Cabela tries to push out first, has to move because of the storm.
Ooh. You can see Sad.
Nice headshot comes in. Hellfire pops out, but it's not going to work. Unique get a win on the board after that 2nd place. Convincing stuff, strong stuff overall. Welcome to the Lobby, rocking it up with the kills galore. But overall, Unique win it out.
13 kills for Unique, getting a 1st place. They've had so insane performances. Storm, coming up with a repeat 2nd place. They were like, coming into today, they were like at the low 16, 15, 14, really low on the leaderboards. But now, in these 2 games, managed to get themselves a healthy lead over some of the other teams. And a team that I mentioned I wanted to see come back is Welcome to the Lobby, now coming in with 2 good games in a row, managing to get points at 3rd place with, what, 17 kills?
That's insane.
That's like 35 points. And they absolutely needed that.
I want to say one thing straight away, that as soon as DM went out, look who's made it up there. BML, 4th. White Pulse, 7th. Avangar, okay, they're consistent. They're always there. BKB up in 5th. This is where it is incredibly interesting for these guys, because they've been able to say, well, DM's not been able to frag out as mad. Welcome to the Lobby suddenly stepped it up and had their individual skills shine through. But they overextended a little bit towards the end. Obviously, Jonathan losing his ammo there, completely running out towards the end, was less than ideal for him. But a very different game than we've ever seen on Erangel, and a quarry ending as well. Love it.
My favorite endings are like hilltops, forests, where you're like, you don't see a bunch of people just panic crashing with vehicles, but people positioning themselves really smart and fighting it out to the end. Just
to say, right, it would have been 48 points if Welcome to the Lobby won. They still got second just purely because of the mad amount of kills. 19 placement points, 18 kills overall for them. DMStorm still in it with 26 there. 43 for Unique. Bemyloot going to be oh so happy with their 22 as well. And the BuzzKillBros, no kills, but 14 points. Sometimes that's the way it goes. And for once, we get to see White Pulse up on here, and that makes us happy. That's the White Pulse we knew and love. The question is, I think they need to have every single game being that kind of style if they even want a chance now making top 16.
That's not enough. They need to have every game way better than having that. Because what? They have 50 points. They need to get 150 points in about 5 games now? 150 divided by 5. I don't want to do the math, but it's like, what is 30 times 5? That is 15. So they need to have 30 points per game, basically, to get over the 200-point threshold. So they only got 11 or 14 points this game.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough ride for them. Still a long way to go that either way. This is the problem. If you've had such a bad week one, it's so hard to come back into it unless you are getting those big dubs on the board. But I don't think DM19 would have slowed down, despite them being one of the first teams eliminated. They only get 1 point in that previous game, but they've got 260. It's a big laugh for them. Unique now of 215. M19 still up there, Avangar as well. But welcome to the Lobby, looking to solidify themselves now with 203.
203?
Welcome to Lobby.
Oh, yeah. I was so because I was doing math and I was thinking about it, I zoned out a little bit.
You were still trying to do the maths from before, weren't you?
No, I mean, the math were fine. It was just like, that's just why we stay away from math. It's dangerous.
This is because we spoke about the threshold, right? Of like 200
yeah, I do.
plus.
Yeah, I know. I was just zoned out and he looked at me and the last thing I heard was 203. I was like, yeah.
Sometimes we do lose our minds. It gets on to these later days, these longer days. We have to talk so much as well. FromHell, they were kind of within it, and they got taken down a little bit earlier than what they would have liked. But a bad game out of 4, if they can have a good game in this final game of Erangel, not the end of the world. But it is, as always, guys, time for us to go to a break. But before that, you might want to head over to the clubopen.pubgmobile.com website. And the reason you might want to do that is because there is 24 teams fighting here. On the standings, we only show you 16, so maybe you want to see where maybe your favorite team is and be seeing exactly what they need to do to improve and find their way to make it to the regional finals. And if you want to see all the other PUBG Mobile content we have to offer, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can see all the glorious content and highlights galore that you want from the PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019. We're going to a break. We'll see you afterwards. One more game of Erangel is coming your way, and God knows what will happen.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Play PUBG Mobile for free.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
It's time for our final game of today, ladies and gentlemen. One more game of Erangel stands in some of our team's way from almost certain elimination. And Larson, this is where it is the scary point, right? Because remember, these teams are only playing 2 days each because the groups of how they match out. They're going head-to-head on different formats. Yep. And Group B and C, we mentioned this last time, they are the most stacked groups from our perspective. There's no guarantee, but just how we've seen it. Now, DMStorm took the first win of today. DM19 went in for the second, and Team Unique, off the back of a second place on the Miramar game, walk away with Erangel.
Yeah.
Dying slowly.
And I like what you pointed out, right? DM99, they have been super dominant.
Yeah.
Game 1 and 2, they had over 10 kills, got a first place and a second place. They died early in Game 3, and that gave a lot of spots to other teams to actually frag out, because welcome to the lobby, they've been really, really quiet. But since DM99 isn't killing everyone, it actually allows other teams to get high kill performances, such as welcome to the lobby did, and to Unique to some extent, amongst others, right?
It just shows, by the way, and I'm laughing because it shows how bloody dominant DM99 were. Yeah. They literally are like, if we're alive, we scare teams away, we get so many kills. And the thing is, it's not like they're always getting like 15, 17 kills, right? Yeah. Like we saw welcome to the lobby, 17 kills, so impressive. That's not the point. This is the fact that 18 kills on welcome to the lobby. I'm not going to let them lose 1 kill because I can't remember numbers.
I'm pretty sure it was 17.
No, it got 18 at the end. We did it. Remember, they got 19 placement points and 18 on the kill points.
I don't remember. It's fine.
I don't remember. It's fine. It comes with it at the end. It's like you question it, then you go, I don't care. Like, screw you, Bex. You can't say anything. Sit in your corner, Bex, and do nothing. Only please Larson as I rub you.
Okay. Standings 2 and 3. M19 Team Unique.
That's an interesting one. She's so close. Massive difference overall, in kills. Yeah, this is the overall standings and how it worked out. We weren't wrong on who actually came away with the win at the end there. That's definitely not the madness we are descending in yet, Larson. But that is the point, right, is that their DM is such a dominant team. It doesn't mean that they have to pick up so many kills, but they upset so many teams because they choose their careful engagements that they will take 1 player, 2 players down, and then say, actually, we don't feel like we can wipe the full squad without losing a player. Let's just back away.
Yeah.
And that's where you get so many teams at the end who are like, we've got 2 players alive, we've got 3, we've got 1, less than ideal. And that's where other teams, they need their 4 players, right? So DM's a very unique team in the sense that they've had 3 players live multiple times and still done really well. A lot of teams, they have to have the full squad, otherwise they seem to be in a shambles.
And it's like you pointed out, DM is probably the best team on the server
Yeah.
on deciding when to choose fights. They're so good at like surprising their enemies and coming out ahead. And you never really see them like caught with their pants down, right?
Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. And I've been watching some of the other regions, right? Like the wildcard region, MEA, for example, and stuff. I would certainly think, and even I watched a bit of the Indian one today. I was doing some VOD review of the other guys. I got to say, DM has a more impressive structure than anything I've seen from these other teams. I think the biggest challenge is when it comes to them going up against some of the Asian regions who are on this kind of level. So when we get to grand finals times, oh God, it's going to be interesting.
But the one thing you have to keep in mind, for a lot of these teams, right, they're used to playing in the regional finals. And like, sure, there is some good teams in Europe. But when you take the 16 teams from, like the 16 best teams from the entire world, the levels just like, let's say EU is here, but if you take the 16 best teams from the entire world, it goes to up here.
Yeah.
And then you actually have to be able to adjust to play, like, just the quality of players is so much harder than what you usually play against.
Now, obviously, you came third playing against some of the best teams in the world. How was that difference for you when you were so used to competing in Europe and playing against some of these teams? Was there, like, adjustments that were being made daily that were quite drastic, or what was the kind of changes for you?
I mean,
I'm racking your brains for quite a while ago now.
Like, it's just the thing that you can't really change too much, right? You need to have your own playstyle, have your own success, but also be prepared that you can't really prepare too much.
Yeah.
So it's more like the mindset you have to be ready for everything and be able to like kind of adapt. So what we did was just like focus on our own gameplay and not try to focus too much on the other teams, right? I don't know if that makes sense. It's just
So it's like making sure you guys are playing everything how you wanted to in your best mechanical way of how driving it forward, but then also just saying that, okay, this is how these teams play it. If we walk into them, we have an understanding of what they would do against us in that sense. And one thing we've seen from some teams is some teams can be incredibly aggressive, some teams can be incredibly very like passive, and that's how it's different on every approach. Like you said, there's so much that can change when it comes to PUBG, but this plane...
This is the plane we love, James.
Give us military, give us military.
So this is an airplane where the players cannot get to the drop spot where they want to go to. They have to struggle with fighting vehicles or, you know, going to not so good loot spots and scrambling around with loot, killing each other, punching each other out. It's great. This is content.
Content indeed. No one is getting far up north unless you grab those vehicles early on. You're going to struggle to get past really Rosq if you're trying to play for Yasnaya. It's a difficult one. You might make it if you drop out more towards the end, but this is the long distance game. As Unique, they are going to go across the military. They just had to drop out so early. They're waiting to go a little bit further down just before anyone questions it.
No, exactly. I'm so confused. They're going ferry pier, even though they had military last game.
What?
And Magic, I believe it was in Novo, but they're going away from it. So now Romania is just randomly going Novo, as nobody's going military.
I could get my circle. I'm so happy. The noise is coming out from me just before that. I am sorry. I get actual joy from this. As Old Boy, well, Unique, they're like, maybe we've won enough today. We don't really care anymore. Old Boy's just gone down instantly. Not sure what they were trying to achieve there, but TQ found the kill. And Carrick actually took a bit of damage there.
James, it's Friday. It's kind of like around midnight. Do you think some of these guys maybe just want to go out and celebrate how well they've done?
If I'm Unique, I'm celebrating all day because you've had a very good day. But not too hard because you need to be sober for the morning. Need to make sure you're up and ready for it all. To make sure you get your early practice in.
Yeah, definitely. The morning practice is the most important thing, as we're currently lacking in-game sound. That would be nice. But Unique, yeah, I'm really confused why they didn't go for the military-based play here. White Poles, they're changing up their drop yet again since they couldn't go to Georgie or Yasnaya. So they're finding themselves in Primos. Storm here, they're fighting with Magic. Magic could have jumped the Novo for free to some extent, but they're not fighting in Pachinki. And Magic's early game plan is... I don't know how to explain it. They have a safe landing spot for one game, and then they just change it up. And now they went over and fed to Storm and Pachinki. Because, like Storm, they've landed in Pachinki every game. They fought for it. There's a reason why they're there. And Magic is just like going into cities without any plan, hoping that they can push other teams away. Not working out great for them as they're down to just one. White Pulse here. They're staring towards TQ. It seems like they know what's going on. They're just biding their time, waiting to see if TQ is coming close and then get some kills. Like I said, Magic was here last game for free, and Romania was like, oh, there's nobody going Novo. I guess we'll take it. Thank you, guys. And we saw the zone. It's all the way down south, plenty of water in. It might even end on the military base itself.
Please.
Please.
If I could do the Thanos and just make things happen, I would happily just make sure we go all the way.
But would you really use your glove for that? Just for a military zone when you can do so many things?
The things I could do with that, I can't say on broadcast, Larson.
Okay. Welcome to the lobby. Do you find a kill onto FTP or a knock? But I guess, welcome to the lobby. They land on Rosq, but with this airplane, it's maybe too far south. So I don't know where that's going on. White Ball's here. Akena was trying to get a knock with his nade, but he get found himself. And he's a little bit split away from his teammates. There's a 2-2 split, and we can see here TQ, they're all close to each other.
Could you imagine playing this game without sound being any of these players? It's like I'm looking at what they're doing, I'm trying to understand where shots are coming from.
Kylie here, he's pushing in onto CZ, 1v2. Can he do this?
No. Ooh, he gets one, but he's low on health. The pressure's on. He can land the headshot, and he catches him running. That is beautiful, but he is eventually knocked down. His teammates need to help him out. Serhat saying, anything you can do, I can do better. I've got Apo with me. Matic from the long range, though. He's believing he can get it done. Shots coming in. Carly goes down. And Matic, you got to do what you do best, buddy. Wait for them to res it up and send it straight to him. Bring the pain. And Apo could be caught off guard because he's kind of away from the rest of them at the moment. Both Nukez and Matic looking to push forward, but they're going to play it smart, as DM always do.
I was so well played. Gets the initial knock, bites his time, get the instant headshot, taking down the 2, but inevitably gets taken down in the side by the rest of the CZ guys here. And I'm a little bit sad that the Manic, Nukes, you know, the rest of the guys, Mike even, couldn't come a little bit closer earlier on, right? Have the backup, right? I don't think looting a few more houses is worth potentially losing a teammate from. So I would like to have seen the help a little bit earlier. And I said Maki. I mean Rafarin. Maki is from Avangar. Take that back.
Look what Warfarin's doing. His position could be crazy. Because they keep CZ so focused on Nukez and Matic, he'll just appear slowly and potentially take him down.
Yep. If that's a smoke, I'm going to be upset. Why are you helping your enemies with smokes?
Warfarin's done it. He popped out. He found Serhat. He can go in for the flush if he wants as well. Apo can hear what's going on, but Matic's going up high to give himself a good vantage point to look at from here.
Yep. Apo here just trying to be really, really quiet. He doesn't want to get spotted here. And the only way Matic can get the shot on him is if he jumps up on the ridge of the building, but that's not the smartest thing to do, because then you're super exposed and you're probably going to die.
Yeah, you'd be right out in the open. Maybe that's why I thought putting the smoke down was smart, because it was like, I can jump up and they'll struggle to look at me, but it's not giving you all the cover in the world, my friend. Did he take some damage?
She jump shot him.
Wow, Matic. Do you know what I said? Let's go for some style points. Why not? That's exactly what they seem to be doing. They should be able to bring Matic back up. Hoka and Raindex, they are on their way down. Hoka took a lot of damage from wherever that was from. One of them shot him down.
It could have even been the initial knock from Kaylee, but they haven't looted anything, right? This is like the first couple of buildings, so they might just not have any meds to recover with. And
they're running.
He said they're running.
Warfarin, he hears it and he's like, come on, baby, give it to me. Let me blow up that car. Let me potentially pick one out of the car as well. They will try and escape, but they've got to be careful because they never know what they're running into. There could be other teams around here.
And that's it. We saw them. They just had no meds whatsoever. Taking these fights is not super beneficial. And once again, DM finding themselves losing one. So maybe if there's one thing they can improve on, it's maybe their early game a bit. Maybe playing more together, so this will never happen to them. White Pulse, on the other hand, playing split yet again, getting picked apart one by one. They're down to 2. TQ are still have all 4 people alive.
TQ have won this duel more times in Pachinki, and White Pulse have not adapted, have not learnt from it. Frost pokes out, nice first knock, but he's got to deal with the rest of them. Goes in for the flush because he knows how important that is, but they surround him and they beat him down with multiple weapons. They make it easy. He gets knocked, and now Terry's under pressure, and that's them eliminated. White Pulse down and out in 15th place. Nothing special happening once again, and I think this could be it now.
Terry just sprinting in after his teammate instead. He should have been there, right?
Yep, you need to back your teammates up.
Earlier.
play together. We cannot say it enough to these guys.
I need to let go of something.
Aggression? Punch me.
White balls, listen to us. Bless the team. Don't be split all the time.
And the thing is, we were speaking to class. He was enjoying their games in the group stages. They were playing well. Admittedly, for White Pulse, they are a bit of a mixed team in the sense that they're not their friends playing together, right? They come from multiple different avenues. So it is something where maybe they're thinking this isn't something they want to go for the long term for. You never know, though. Some of these players could certainly be picked up. As Kuma, they're doing what they do best. Chill.
Why are they staying in Milta here? You've seen the zone, right? It's like pretty far south. They could go central right now, but instead they just want to lay prone on pretty much the edge.
Military base. Give it to us. Let's see how it goes. Big rips. That was the least exciting.
I could go for another read, but I'll probably stop.
Yeah, we don't need another read just yet. This is acceptable for everyone else. It's good for the players. It's bad for the viewership because the military zones always end up as a very fun and exciting affair. As Romania, they're going to go here and grab themselves some level 3 gear along with an AUG if they want it as well.
Yep. Very nice weapons. Just super easy to spray with. The level 3 gear, if you put it on the right player, can pretty much make or break a game. At least get you a few higher positions, win a few fights.
The crazy thing is, military base didn't get looted at all. That's currently been left fully alone. Romania
and
didn't want to go
super good to loot
to it.
from the airplane as well, right?
Yeah.
Which makes it even more bunkers.
Where's the rest of Unique? Only one of them died, right?
Yeah, Unique. It was just the
old boy
who landed in Primorsk alone while the rest of his team was in therapy here.
What if he is really old? Maybe he just wanted to go for a nap. He was getting tired. He was like, we're doing well. I'm just going to sleep today.
I just assume it's Friday and it's like around, what is it, a quarter to midnight here where we are. So, you know. I would rather assume he's that kind of guy. That would be an excuse that people would understand. Obviously not us because we never go drinking. We just sit and play video games all day.
That's why we do this as our job. That's exactly how it goes down. But, hey, we have fun doing it. Lots of PUBG. Lots of PUBG Mobile for me. And lots of problems here for a lot of teams early on. The circle shifted up north, and it means that rotations come in from anyone down on the south, east, and west. Like we mentioned, Kuma sat all the way over to Milta, and they could have tried to position themselves quickly, but instead, they're proned in a house altogether saying, what can we do from here?
Yeah, and that's something Kuma does a lot, right?
Yeah.
And they're not choosing to change it up at all. So we can just talk about this, right? Kuma, they've now played for almost 4 weeks, right?
Yep.
And they're not they're pretty much at the bottom of the leaderboards, if not very close to. They should be able to look at their games and say, hey, we need to improve on this and that. And not just stick with the same old gun, right? They need to say, we're not doing super hard. What can we change? And one of the first things they can look at is maybe say, hey, maybe we shouldn't always stay at the edge of the circle and hope we just get lucky sometime.
M19, by the way. Sorry to cut you off, but long range here, looking to do some serious damage onto FTP, who look to try and take a bit of position away from M19, but instead they're not going to get much done. And M19, Roji, he's spraying out. He wants to blow up that car and hope they'd be close enough by, but the rock is providing them at least with enough cover now.
Yeah, really rough spot to be in, especially this early. Not a place where we want to be, and you can see them. They're trying to disengage, getting the fist out, just running away.
Wow, he's nearly knocked again.
Yep. Gets behind cover. Wanted to say, but Unique from the sides, finding the shots.
Motto, you just need to leave your teammate be. Get the hell out of there and hope you can stay up. But Thanos, he's delivering.
Where's the flush? Come in with the flush. Don't let him live.
Especially not for a team like Unique. Put them down early. You've got to make sure of that because they will be fast to make it happen. And make sure they've got any optimal chance to get this job done. But M19 with 4 alive already and getting some potential frags out there. As the circle, we go for a hard shift back over towards Milta where Kuma just came from.
And they moved away as we talk about it.
We're like, oh, don't stay there for too long, Kuma. Apologies, we didn't know this would happen. If this ends
in Milta now, I guess, yeah, I'll just have to eat my words or something. They're actually moving away now.
Now, if they just go and take a center position in this circle, that's the best option they can. Now they're actually closer than a lot of teams when it comes to it. They can make this work to their advantage. FromHell probably going to go for a bit of this high ground up here, which will be a nice spot to work from. But it is quite an open area. They just need to keep their wits about them. It's good awareness that we need to look for multiple teams when it gets down to these positions.
Right. We were praising FromHell coming into today, but I believe they had one game where they got like top 7 with 14, 15 points, and everything else has been very lackluster. And on here, even they lose Whitey in the early game, so they need to work on some of their early game issues and then praise them. We praise them for teamwork. I want to see more of that teamwork, of them playing together, not losing people early, taking good fights, and all the good stuff that brings you in. And we can just see here, up in the dirt road by Potato Hill, so many teams are clashing with each other. Romania probably driving, or shooting at people driving past here. But up on Potato Hill, I saw 4 or 5 teams in a kind of close vicinity. M19 doing what they do always, sending it to the center, trying to secure placement points. And they have more life than usual at this point with the 3 guys we see on the screen here. To be fair, even though they've had a lot of early deaths, they've been able to climb up and get a ton of average placement points. Not so many kill points, but that's not necessarily what you need, as they should currently be in the top 3 of the standings. Welcome to the lobby, showing a bit more signs of life, but still not. Actually, we did say they had 203 points, so they could potentially have qualified now. It's just a threshold. It doesn't have to be finalized, but anything above 200 points is pretty safe at this point. But they still have this and 4 more games to play. So they should be good to go for the regional finals. Team that is not good to go is Kuma, as they've been found.
Found the sound.
They've been taken apart by so many teams now. M19 and Unique are fighting, and that's pretty much all of Kuma been taken out now. And we might have 1 or 2 alive, but
yeah, there's 2 alive at the top, Tapsy and Schlumpy. They are always the ones that seem to fight it out until the end.
Yep.
M19, they've been able to just post up right and deal so much damage from afar. They found themselves good compounds to fight from, and they are using it to their advantage. FromHell, making sure they've got some cover here, but they've got to be careful because there are multiple teams around them. And Nukas from DM, you know him, he likes to poke forward and say, all right, where are you guys hiding? Where are you guys sitting? And that smoke's giving him all the information he needs.
And they probably want the airdrop as well. They're like, oh, there's an airdrop. Gimme, gimme, gimme. And we see the new zone here. This is such a tough place to play. If you don't have the farm, there's literally just a garage to play from, and then hillsides, like small bits of cover with trees and ridges, but barely any compounds, and you really need to know the terrain well here if you want to do well. Medic not doing so well as he walks into FromHell, might not have been aware of them, and he initially gets knocked. I don't think he's been finished just yet, but might give some breathing room to FromHell to disengage from this fight. So getting the rest onto Medic here. And I think
he poked out, crept his way back in, so not the end of the world.
Oh, there he is. I was wondering where the 3rd DM player was.
Nukas, he was going off on his own, but he's still within the circle. They're still on the zone. Schlumpy, Tabsy. Schlumpy's up in the Wizard Tower. We've got Tabsy over towards a tree near him. Hopefully they've taken that supply drop, regardless.
Unique though, they're coming up from behind. They finally spotted the FromHell members. Gets the knock. Haven't finished him yet. They might go inside the shack here and get another rest up. But a lot of pressure onto these guys on the northern side of the zone, as they're fighting for whatever there's left of open terrain to play from, with just a little bit of cover.
And if you're the last team to hear, like BKB seems to be the final ones rotating in from the north, you're just so stuck on where to put yourself.
Yep, unless you kill everyone, you're gonna have a bad time.
That's the name of the game, and if you're M19, you're loving life because you're still on the edge of this new circle popping. You can wait it out for as long as possible. You can take multiple shots onto other teams like you've been doing. Their damage is going to be so high this game.
You'd have to see it. What you don't like to see if you're M19 fan is they're losing their compound here, and they will have to play in the open. What we can see, Storm, they're slightly ahead of them, but they're all just plugged into a shack right now, and they're under more pressure because M19 were split. They send hate to hope inside this Wizard Tower here. So M19 is actually doing great. They have spotted the new zone. And from this position, they might be able to gatekeep some other teams, or just get a lot of shots onto people from the northern side of the zone.
Now Storm, all in one position. It's a scary spot though if you do get found. There's TQ and Unique going head-to-head once again. This seems like a fight we see all too often, no matter which map we're on. These guys seem to like to be close. And if I'm TQ, I don't really want to be close to Unique, not given what they can do. The Romanians, sneaky snakes in the grass. That's seemingly how they want to play this out. As M19 are still able to get kills, or at least not for now, and try and convert them in.
I want to see the north side of the zone. We're looking at inside the safe. These guys don't have to fight. I want to see up north, where everybody's clashing. We see TQ. I think they found a knock and a finish, or 2 knocks onto Unique. And they're really battling up there. These guys, they're both inside the zone. They're just going to, you know, have a good time. Nobody's really going to do anything. But everybody in the north, they're fighting it.
Just nothing happening really, is it? It's just chill mode.
There we go.
We're back up there. Someone listened. Does happen every now and again.
Is that Unique fully out? I don't see the orange on the minimap anymore.
Ooh.
We do see...
Oh, Matic's in there. Maybe he's got his teammates right on top of him. Sometimes that can be clustered.
No. That's Matic is from DM. I'm talking about Unique. Looks like Unique have been completely eliminated. Kuma's down to just Tapsy as DM takes over the Wizard Tower.
We missed it.
But the circle does go really, really far to the north, eliminating even more compounds. And this is so rough. There's actually not that much playable space in this zone here, James.
So I want a military base. Instead, I've got the most open-ending game possible. And a lot of these teams are going to struggle regardless with it. As welcome to the lobby. They tried... Oh, God, no.
I think it's a smoke. It was Shadow Thunder through it.
Phew.
There's smoke.
My God.
These guys know. They just got the zone a hard shift away from them. They're smoking their vehicles, deciding, yeah, this fight is not worth it. We're going to try and send it in, see if we can make it with some people alive. Romania here disengaging from the welcome to lobby fight. That's the same idea. The blue is moving already. They need to go.
Definitely don't take damage from that. Romania snaking it up is not going to work out. They'll get their boots into their car and start making their way forward. Storm all the way up there now, going to be at least happy with their position. M19 have had to have a bit of a rotate as well. As FromHell is sitting within the smoke, and TQ, they don't mind about that. They'll take shots through it. As M19, they found Hoper. So they've taken him out the car. And Avangar, it's been a quiet game from them so far, but Gonzo is able to get the damage done. Mackey's helping him out as well. And the Romanians, right on the edge, are finding a bit of a problem now in front of them.
Yep. They're welcome to the lobby survive with anyone if they get eliminated in this rotation. It looks like they lost a lot anyway. So not a good rotation from them here. Misu found the initial knock onto Roki. Can he get the finish? Maybe.
These nades so key here for Romanians to use. Tudor able to knock down Hate Hope. It's at least a chance for them to push forward. Because M19 are currently gatekeeping them from making it any further in. But Thanos is able to reply as well. And, well...
Look at how split Avangar is.
The West is so clustered.
Yeah.
BML is loving life.
If you look at the south side of the zone where it's safe, there's literally no playable area. It's just a big open field. And while the hill above is still in, you can't play it at all. So you have to play on these edges, on the west side or the east side, or all the way up north where there's a bunch of trees. So you have seen...
Look how close Tapsy is. Zandowski, please. Have a look, he's still moving around. You got your teammate by you as well.
But this is the thing with Kuma. He's looking into the rock rather than the people that could be close to him. Looks towards the blue zone where people have to push the wash you from.
He's saying, hug the rock, he jumps up. What? Now you're in the open. You're going to die, Tapsy. Yep, that's it. No problem. Oh, how did you miss that Pro God Lord? You're the one. Not Neo, but you're one of the ones.
Tapsy.
Oh my.
You can do it.
Tapsy is still alive, but he gets taken out. Kuma are next down and out of it. We're down to our 9 teams remaining as BML have come alive. And remember, they were down over towards the east. And they had a lot of space to work with this circle. It's going to be hard for a lot of these teams to get in. It is truly the prone and snake game as it be.
Just look at this. We have 22 people alive, but we still have 9 teams. All of these teams, they've been fighting already. They're down to just a few members, and I don't believe that a lot of teams will have like more than 3 members alive. It seems like DM here, and maybe BKB are healthy, and everybody else is going to be down to like a 1 guy or a duo. Pretty much.
DM taking shots as always. Still not inside the circle though. Got a little way to go, but it's just such an open area it makes this incredibly hard to deal with. But the sneaky snakes, right, that can creep up on them. Yes, you've got the tower to fight from. Malik's in the back lines. But how much space and how much further can you really go before you get found out? As Hate Hope gets himself at least the knock. Why doesn't he go for the flush? He drops straight back down. He's going to go and bandage himself. ProGod Lord will start to make his way down, and Zamrowski's going to at least look forward to see how this is playing out. The spray comes in. ProGod Lord, oh no, the reload nearly costs him it. Hate Hope's on the hunt. He might end up just letting ProGod Lord go out to the zone, and that's what ends up happening. Shots come in, the knocks come on, and that's going to be them eliminated. Hate Hope, very scary there, but at least he got the job done.
M19 has a lot of kills this game. I just want to say props to them. They did lose members again invitations quite early on, but they've been able to battle it out, deny some of these teams entry, and they finally clashed with Stone, who was for a short time ahead of them in the zone.
Look how close Motto is to CZ.
Yeah.
This is the true Snake game, and a lot of people are going to end up either dying out to the play zone or just on this last rotation. Smokes are everywhere, but you need more smokes than that to provide you with cover. Matic is gatekeeping. You see him stood up, he's looking for him, and he finds Motto straight away. But he's going to be looking for some more as BKB, they get the nades off, but it's back and forth trades coming in here between these two teams. And BML, it's taken them a while to get into this because there was not many teams over towards the east side where they were hanging out for so long. Matic is loving life. He sees this as an opportunity to frag out even more, and he makes that 7 with 6 teams remaining, and he's thinking, you're going to try to beat my record? I don't think that's possible. I'm going to be the highest fragger in Europe.
And he just does it with style, right?
Yeah. It's just so smart. He knew that there'd be some snakes, so he just waited the whole time and was like, well, as long as I'm still back before I'm in the circle, they're going to eventually have to stand up, and I'm going to sit there and do what I do best.
Look at Enzo here. He's creeping up right on top of BKB. But BKB have engulfed themselves in smokes. They won't be able to visually see anything at all. And BML, if they're not super careful here, these guys are low, they're still healing. He could maybe catch him off guard. But it looks like they're both getting their first hits up.
It's going to be nuts. If that smoke is gone, he's going to see it all.
They have time to heal. They're fine. They even popped the new smoke to have even more time to loot up.
But are they even going to check it?
James? I don't know.
Well, Enzo did start off strong. The car gets blown up as well. He's looking for more of an opportunity here, and he's still doing as a sneaky snake. Wise is seeing a little bit more confidence now, and he's going to go in with it to make it happen. Nops a hand. He's the next one out. And BKB, they're in a rough spot, and they are eliminated. BML, they've really come alive on this last pit. They've just done nothing in the early part of the game, and then they've seen it as their time to strike.
Oh, yeah. And we can just see everybody snaking here. People do not have a lot of cover to work with, and we'll have to see. A lot of these teams, they're just saying, okay, we have one tree, we'll split it between us. What I want to see is teams like DM maybe try to take multiple different trees, and that way have even more cover, instead of just hoping they don't get seen. M19, they've managed to claim the southern side of the zone. In between them and BML, we have 2 snakes. I believe one is Avangar and the other one is Storm. The Storm guy, Gabella, he gets taken out by Hope. And this is anyone games. We could see Gonzo be a spoiler here for whoever stands up and shoots first near him. He's just been trying to stay quiet. His team died when they had to cross up north.
Twice has the ultimate gun in his hand over this position.
But look at who's looking at him. DM here surely has to see and hear what's going on. I'm surprised that Nukes didn't decide to engage in this. Maybe he's like, hey team, do you see these guys? They're right there. But Raffarin or Matic is not even looking his way. Surely Nuke sees this.
Now they've chosen their time. This is where they start to shoot. This is where DM do what they do best. It was all down to that perfect timing they were looking for. And they only had one more player to find, and he goes down. Brilliant work again from DM, but Matic, I don't know what you really say about that one.
Gonzo Hito, he was the snake from Avangar. He finally stands up. He finds the initial member of M19, giving DM a huge break here, letting them revive potentially if they want to. So DM fully recovering, and M19, they're in a world of hurt.
This is crazy. DM looking for 2 wins on today. They are not done just yet. Thanos getting flushed out. Gonzo remains, Hate Hope remains. It's 3 versus 1 versus 1, and Matic will be back to look to get more than 10 kills in one game. If he can do this once again, I am seriously considering him as the best player that we have seen so far throughout PUBG Club Open 2019. Bandages being applied.
That is ridiculous.
And also, you've got to say, right, there's Matic all being good, but his team set him up for it as well.
Yeah.
They're allowing him to do it. It is a team effort that comes in. And Matic finds himself the 10th kill. Only Gonzo left. He goes out to the play zone, and we see 2 wins today for DM. 10 kills on Mr. Matic. He is more than automatic. He's got all the bullets, and he understands exactly how this is meant to be played.
That's insane. We've played 4 games today. DM has gotten first, second, and then 16th. But in all their wins...
See, I can't believe the 16th.
But in the first 3 games, they had over 10 kills in every single one.
That's just...
That's insane!
DM are on another level. Avangar taking 2nd place, M19 with 3rd. BML, though, that's a nice position for them to have. They played the circle well. BKB in there at the same time. And CZ back up in it, but like we said, with 1 kill, it's not enough for these guys to see them make it from 24th, where they started today, within this top 16, Larson.
So, if we don't just want to talk about DM, Avangar, M19 and Unique, our team today has probably been Storm. They've had really good performances throughout the day. They've snuck up. We've seen signs of life again from Welcome to the Lobby, which is good because last week got us a little bit worried on the last day because they literally had 4 games where they got like 10, 15 points in total.
Again, yeah.
So they saw chance at life. And the teams that have disappointed me today, FromHell. We talked them up. They had a really good first week, but today it was very lackluster from them. I think they had like one top 7
game, right? Yeah.
And I mean, you say good game is like 14 points.
Better than nothing.
It's obviously better than nothing, but it's like an it's like an average game.
Yeah.
You obviously want a little bit more than that. So
it's going to be interesting how these standings end up this time around. That last Erangel game is a wild one as it be, as another 44 points is going to send DM99 up past the 300 mark now.
Yep.
M19 again prodding their way out, but also this time they were firing from every compound they grabbed within the circle. It only got harder for them, and this is where they fully struggled, when they rotated in and there was no other places for them to sit. So once out the compounds, it became a bit of a rough ride. Avangar looking at 27, so not far behind it. Bemyloot 22, DMStorm again. Okay, DMStorm definitely are now agreeing with you now. See the actual placement for this one. Most consistent team of today, the overall best team of today. As we look at our final standings for the total overall standings after today's games. Now remember, as you can see it, some teams have only played 8 matches. They will be the teams playing again tomorrow. And then the rest who have 12, it's a scary sign for them that some of these teams, especially the teams just below them, might have that chance to leapfrog them and knock them out of the top 16 and maybe crush their opportunity to qualify for regionals.
Oh, yeah.
304 points. DM doing what no other team can seemingly do. 198 placement points. But look at the kills! 106. And Mr. Matic is leading that charge.
That
the
is
most
insane.
individually talented player within these lobbies every single time around. M19 still 60-point deficit when it comes to that. Avangar chasing that up as well. Out of the top 5, it's anyone's game.
Oh, out of the top 5? Yeah, I can agree with that, 100%.
I'd say actually, just because DMStorm's only 5 points away, and if they just pick up 1 set of games tomorrow or the next day, then yes, they should be fine as well. As we look at the head-to-head overall, and Avangar, they are up there with all the kills, but maybe not so many as the placement points, because M19 do have the lead on them. And that's what we spoke about in week 1 of the semi-finals. M19, they weren't going in for kills. No. It was all placement points and hardly any kills. It was the Super Snake team, as it be.
And that's kind of... I mean, it's a good strategy and it can work, but it can also be scary that you sometimes choose to not go for the fights and actually have to rely on snaking your way into the top positions, right?
If we see more of what we just saw from M19 in that previous Erangel game, our last Erangel game, then I'm down for it. Then I believe in that kind of balance I'm accepting of. But yeah, like you were saying, in week 1, it was the scary thing because if they do have a game where they go out early, then it's like, well, Snaking's not really going to do it because you didn't even get any points because you didn't get the kill points as well. But we are done for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see all the information that is there for the Club Open, you know what to do. It's down below, clubopen.pubgmobile.com. Please make sure you visit it and check all the information out. And also, you can feel free to ask us questions across the board as well, because me and Larson love to answer that stuff, especially when you like to call us out on things, because I don't hold back. But what you can also do is hit that red subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and that will get you all the VODs and everything that's happened so far in the Club Open, not just here for Europe, but all the other regions as well. We're done for this evening. It was a crazy day. It was an interesting day, and certainly DMStorm impressed. The question is, how will it go down tomorrow? We hope to see you on the stream once again. I hope you have a wonderful time, whatever you're doing, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Zombie, Darkest Night, the newest mode in the zombie universe, is here. This time, the rules are different. No more parachuting, as players will be placed at random locations on the map when the match begins, and there is no single winner. Players must work with their teammates to spend one long night in the match and stay alive until the sun comes up. Waves and waves of zombies will spawn during each of the 3 foggy periods at night, and supplies should only be scavenged when the fog fades. The main objective is not to defeat other players, though this doesn't mean they are harmless. Players may need to work with other teams when necessary, but should also watch their backs in case the Fragile Alliance goes south. This will be a unique experience for every player involved. This new mode also comes with a passive skill for every player. Understanding these skills will be the key to staying alive in this long night. Can you ride out the night?
Play PUBG Mobile for free.